Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Wow, it's Wednesday. I'm Dan.
Samantha's here.
Hey.
We're doing some weird job. Who do we got on the line?
Well, but before we even get to that, we got a new fish, and I don't even think you've seen him, Sam. He's got the head of a frog and the body of a fish, and he's unfortunate looking, but because he's unfortunate looking, God or the robot God or whatever you believe in decided that they would splash him with delicious colors to make him look awesome. He is that is an odd-looking fish, dude.
It's cool.
Frog head, fish body, and painted all kinds of crazy purples and reds. Yeah, he's awesome. Have no idea what it is, though. Looks dangerous.
There's a couple of those fish that are somehow in between fish and frog, and those are cool.
I feel like that's what I am in humans. Like I'm somewhere between a human and a frog.
A lot of people have a frog-like body, and it's unfortunate.
It really is.
Mine's
like actual size, though.
Our buddy...
like some of the largest toads are, bigger than me.
Bubba used to have a frog body.
Well, I don't have... See, I have an ass.
Like frog legs.
Yeah, I don't have frog legs. I have an ass. I have a pooched out ass.
You get like a big top muffin and tiny flat frog. I have kind of like that. I have a frog ass. With a big muffin.
You have a flat frog ass?
I got a frog body.
You're Michigan J. Frog.
Is it flat, though? Is your ass flat?
It's not that flat. It could be flatter, but
do you want it flatter?
It's about...
Why don't you put a sports bra on it and strap that thing down like lesbians do their breasts when they want to look more
You want it flatter?
No, I want a nicer ass, but...
No, you don't. If you wanted a nicer ass, you'd do squats. You don't do squats. You're only concerned about your chest strength. You're not concerned at all about your... you need to do those squats like the Brazilian bodybuilder women do that gives them that shelf.
That's genetics. I'll never...
What about implants?
Yeah, I could get implants.
Let's get implants.
Let's all get booty implants.
Let's just one, though. Just one.
All get the Madonna, though, where it's abnormal.
Yeah,
that's
where
weird.
You could see it through your flabby old lady skin.
Yeah,
wow.
You should have thickened your skin up.
I thought you were talking to me.
No, Madonna. Like she's 60-something years old. She's an old lady.
There is a sweet spot for surgeries, right? And in your 60s, I mean, no matter what you're getting done, it's dangerous, and it's going to take you a long time to heal, and it's just not going to look right. So if you're like an old lady and you're listening to me right now, and let's say you're 50, and you're like, I've been saving up to get a breast augmentation, I would say save your money and take a trip, because it's going to look okay, but it's not going to look as good as if you'd done it when in your 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a horribly judgmental thing to start the show with. We haven't even started Weird Job Wednesday, and I'm just telling people how to live their lives.
Well, you're fighting the inevitable. Like, there's only so much you could do.
No, my point is that this procedure itself is not something that you would want to do when you're that age. Same thing with tattoos. Like, I'm getting to a point now where I don't want to feel the pain anymore, and plus my skin's just not going to have the integrity that it would have. Like, another 10 years, I'm done. That's, don't get them.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to get them when you're like 80. It's time to go and get that, ankle tattoo. It's not going to be good. Your skin is a bag of nightmares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just not going to look right.
Who's on the Weird Job?
Yep.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Brought to you by Streamline Florida. If you want to refi or get a mortgage, talk to Brian Zyma and his team. They will help you out, and they will make it easy. And they can tell you all the information over your phone. Send them an email.
Yeah,
they can do it over email.
Super duper easy. Yeah, give Brian and his guys a call. On the line with us right now, and I forgot the fake name I gave him.
Blarchy.
Blarchy. This is Blarchy Carrots, Tom.
Jim. How you doing,
why
Jim?
Now you're
no,
confusing
I
him.
already gave him a name.
Okay, Jim.
No,
Sure.
no, hold
I
on a
can't
second.
call you that.
Your name is Blarchy. I gave you the name. You will not supersede my authority by going with Jim. Jim sucks.
How's it going, B?
It's all good. How are you guys?
B
Good.
is fine.
So,
That's called a compromise.
what's your weird job?
So not necessarily the weirdest of jobs on the exterior, because I've been a professional chef on and off for over 25 years. But over the last 20 years, I've been a professional chef for, let's say, the world's most affluent rodent.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
You can
yes.
just-
Chuck E. Cheese. Okay.
Charles
yeah, little
Entertainment Cheese. We meet again.
Yeah. Are you a chef at Chuck E. Cheese? I mean,
That's impressive.
yeah. I mean, could you technically say?
A fun fact is the chef is the only person that isn't obligated to wear the costume when they have a birthday party.
There's no open flame in the back of Chuck E. Cheese. It's
No,
all
no,
microwave.
no.
Okay. So being a chef at a big resort like that,
Correct.
how, like, where you were a chef in a restaurant, like a nice restaurant, or one of the actual resorts, or what?
Gotcha. So, I mean, over the years, I've worked almost everywhere. I've worked in various hotels, resorts, worked in pretty much almost all of the parks, and currently I help oversee the festivals. So your food and wines, your flower gardens, things such as that.
Yeah, so you're doing a lot. So basically what you have to do for your festivals is you have to sit in a room with a think tank of other foodies and think about what Western treat would be deliciously stuffed into an egg roll. Cheeseburger egg roll, spaghetti egg roll, pizza
wait,
egg
hold
roll,
on. Spaghetti egg roll.
Cuban sandwich egg roll, right? Because we all know that mouse food festivals require novelty, delicious fried egg rolls.
Yes.
Yeah, to a point. And that's definitely, an aspect of it in some ways. A lot of more what I do, it's more figuring out maybe not that kitschy. So again, we do really high-end food.
Yeah, you do.
But it's themed around whether it's a country or whether it's a specific ingredient. So for some of the more flower-related festivals, we'll do things related around citrus or honey and different things like that. But yeah, it's gearing up ahead of time. We're already planning for festivals that are going to be coming March and April. We're working on that currently.
So do you, like, when you're doing this, has there ever been, let's just say you're doing, we're going to walk around and we're going to visit every country and try a little snack from each one. Are there different foods that they say you have to do it like this, or do you formulate the menu and then fly it up the flagpole and see if it gets shot down? Like, how do you know if you're going to hit the mark?
So it's a little bit of both. Sometimes we switch things up. There's certain staples that will never go away that have been around since, the late 90s when the original festival started. So certain items will never go away. The filet for Canada, the soup for Canada, things like that. But certain aspects we are able to kind of change, whether it's yearly or if something goes off well. And then, of course, it's got to run it up. Got to go through 17 different tastings with executives and this and that to be able to see if something sticks.
Let me ask you a question in the terms of how chefs are looked at, or like the spectrum of chefs. Because I imagine like the top tier chefs, the like most respected chefs, work in individual dining. I'm just guessing here, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because I have no idea. So I could be completely wrong. But they work in like individual.
Well, yeah, you are a little wrong.
Okay, well, let me just tell you how I think, and maybe
He already told you you're wrong.
but
he wants to finish the wrongness.
Okay.
I gotta finish the
let
wrong
him barf
thought.
it all out first before you start to execute.
You're like, don't throw up on my carpet.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already started.
I mean, damn, Sam. Sam, you argue like I do with my wife. You got to let her get it all out. You can't just be like, well, you're wrong. You're already wrong. You can't do that.
Because my perception of it is, if you're one of the most famous chefs or like the most well-respected chefs, work at like a super high-end individual restaurant and they're cooking individual meals for celebrities. Like, that's how I'm thinking in my mind.
I would go along with this stereotype. I would go along with it.
And then it
What's
worked.
wrong with our guest?
You
I'm
guys okay?
burping
Something's
and
wrong,
farting,
yeah.
and I keep burping. I'm like, blah, blah. Sorry.
We're dying inside.
Yeah.
And then it works its way down until you get to where you're mass producing a ton of like different items to hundreds of people, and you're overseeing that, even though that seems harder.
So it starts with making a Cuban sandwich egg roll for Lil Nas X in your one-off, and then it trickles down to
or
like
like
you're serving it at the festival.
I'm thinking like a fancy French restaurant. You're in the back, and it's the whole chef thing, and
Chef's table.
And
You're
then,
yelling
like,
at people. You're smashing a
like
risotto in the trash.
like a Gordon Ramsay, and then like cooking for the rich and the elite.
A lot of guys with like shaved sides, tight ponytails, beards, a lot of tattoos, smoking out back.
And then if you're like making a cheeseburger egg roll, and then you're like, all right, this is the concept. This is how you do it. Now make 8,000 of these for food and wine. That like seems lesser.
Oh man.
I don't know. In the spectrum. So am I completely wrong?
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Just because it's more of there's so many of us. Okay, so there's hundreds upon, if not thousands, of professional chefs throughout the entire company. So yeah, maybe to a point, the guy of the top restaurant of the company, might be a little bit more sought after, and that person's been in that position for probably 20 years and will never leave, and things like that. But everybody over the course of time will pretty much work everywhere. I've worked everywhere from some of the extremely fancy restaurants to more of your large-scale production, because when you get to that level within the company, it's not necessarily about being a hands-on chef anymore. That's what kind of makes the job extremely different than a lot of other chef positions, is that that's a big part of it. You need to be able to know how to cook, obviously, but it's more about being a leader for a massive amount of humans, and so it's more aspect of leadership and things like that as opposed to just being a cook.
Well, I was going to ask you, that was my next question. How much of being a chef or a
No, it
head
wasn't.
chef
I'm looking at your sheet, and that absolutely was not your next question. You have two other questions you crossed out.
is being a good manager?
Absolutely, especially in the position that I'm in. Like I said, you need to be able to know how to cook. That's the backbone around it, and new leaders and this and that, whether they're being promoted or being brought in from external, they all do cooking for the executives and things like that, because you need to be able, to have the chops to be able to cook and create dishes. But it's more about being a leader and being able to help orchestrate a team and execute on the scale of thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
You think you could do it? I don't think I could.
No, I'm a horrible manager.
I'm a bad manager too. Yeah.
Glad you guys are admitting it.
Well, I told you every
we
day.
know. You tell us that all
I
the time.
write it
You
on your
yell at
check.
us. You're like, I hate this place. You're bad managers. I'm like,
Check.
noted.
By the way, I didn't
Noted.
get my check yesterday.
No, no.
Yeah, I have it somewhere.
So
Somewhere on my desk or in the trash. I don't know. We'll find it.
let me ask you this. So, because I have to know who's the best, I have to rank everybody best or worst in my mind.
like
I
that.
have to.
We wouldn't have a show if you didn't do that.
So, is
Wait, you like lists?
I like lists.
Very
Are you crazy?
good.
I secretly
like-
read them every morning.
That's it. Well, you slowly morph into what you made.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers did it.
Yeah.
Turned into Brett Favre.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, oh my God, is he wearing Wranglers?
He hated Brett Favre.
Yeah, I hated the hell out of him.
And they both hated each other.
Now they love each other.
No, they don't love each other. Still hate each other. He just turned into what he hated.
Right.
You hate what you love. What? You love.
You would like to think
that is a Tom
that
Vanism,
once
yes.
you become it, that you go, you know what, you weren't that bad. I like you now.
I understand you.
So is like the best chef in the world best for his management skills and his ability to run a kitchen successfully and efficiently, or more based on his actual cooking and culinary skills, like his ability to cook unbelievably well with maybe artistic flair and that kind of thing? Because a lot of being a chef is some art involved into it too, right? So what would you say?
So within my world, which again is very different than the rest of the world, yeah, it's being a leader and more of that manager aspect is more important. On the outside world, anywhere still within Central Florida, but not in my world, yeah, it's probably a little bit more important to be that, very artistic, very avant-garde or whatever, hands-on chef. But in my world, that's a part of it. But it's definitely more important as far as being an outstanding leader for your team.
So is in the culinary world, it seems like that is still holding on to old school roots, and I'll explain where you still kind of work your way from the bottom all the way to the top.
The drink.
As opposed to like skipping a lot of those steps by going to school and then just interjecting yourself into,
A career, yeah.
It seems like every chef kind of works their way up from basically like working the line or doing a prep work or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started in this business when I was 12 years old. I started as a dishwasher and worked all the way up, to be a line cook and then so forth and so on, and then came down here to Florida, was a line cook for a little bit, and then got the opportunity to become a salaried leader, which changes the game altogether.
I will make 100% guarantee, and you could execute me on site.
Whoa, what is happening?
If
It's getting crazy.
My sons ever start working at 12 years old, it's impossible. It'll never happen. It never happens.
Right.
I'm just, 100%.
Yeah.
It's,
No
Oh,
one
yeah, it
thought
wouldn't
that
happen
was
anymore.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying that I know my sons, and
Yeah.
it's just Tommy's about to turn 8 coming up next year. I'm just like,
get him a
4
job.
years with the
him a
That's
job.
insane. 12 years old.
That was an old school thing. I remember having friends of mine around that age, 12 or 13, that would start to pick up. That was like a thing. It was like, it wasn't like
Like
an
a bag
official
boy or
thing. Yeah,
something.
you would pick up a little
Yeah.
thing and you'd start bringing a little bit of coin. What's the hardest part of your job, do you think? Is it the managing of people?
Yeah, it's being able to really manage and deal with everybody's personalities differently, because you can't, even I can't talk to Johnny the same way I talk to Timmy, because they take things very differently. So I could maybe be a little bit more aggressive with one individual, grab somebody, pull them off to the side, and kind of, rough them up a little bit, as opposed to
Wait a
handling
minute
somebody
here.
with kid gloves.
You're roughing up your employees.
Well, no, like...
Hey, I mean, again, more of a old school tactic, like Dan said. Again, it was a different age back
Well,
then.
I'm also seeing, like, one of the things that most fascinates me about what you do, overseeing, like, food service within theme parks for massive festivals, is that I have seen firsthand the way that massive theme parks have to handle food allergies. And how...
Oh, yeah, that is nightmarish.
Yeah, so give me an idea of, like, something, because I see it during, like, Food and Wine. You'll be walking around, and you'll see... Are you the guy on the headset calling? Are you the guy that shows
Yep.
up with the specialty food that's been created someplace else for the lady who needed it to be X amount of gluten
Oh,
or what?
God, peanut dust.
Well, no,
Oh, yeah, no,
I get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, I mean, I have my work phone, and 3/4 of my day is the dumb college kid, out front taking the money, calling me, asking me about Karen's son, who has 14, 15, 20 different food allergies, and, well, can they eat this? So on my phone, I have literally every recipe of every dish that we serve.
Why'd you even go to Food and Wine? What are you doing?
Oh, it boggles my mind. It really does.
You brought your
Just stay
extremely
away.
allergic child who's allergic to everything
Yep.
in the world. You brought him outside? No, go back
Well,
inside.
I mean,
you gotta
Yeah,
go back
and
inside.
it's every day. It is every single day. The amount of phone calls that I get related, and some of the times it's mostly just a phone call because I might be completely in another area. But other times it's, no, this person would really like to speak with you. So I'll come, and I come over, and I will literally walk them through the entire
My
plan for their
son would
day
like
of what
to
they could
eat
possibly
some
eat.
rice-free sushi, please.
Guess what? I'm not taking
Uh-huh.
Tommy to Ant Fest because
Yeah,
I'm not
you're
an
missing
idiot.
out on a good time.
Antfest is dope, man.
Hey,
Alien
look,
Ant Farm's
but
there
that
this
is-
year.
Yeah.
Why take your
That is
kid?
definitely the biggest part.
I did want to bring that up as early as I am right now, but the first thing I thought of when I knew you were going to be on the line is that's got to be the biggest pain in the butt, because when you go, okay, now I'm going to say something that might ruin Food and Wine for a lot of people. When you go and you're standing in line, there's somebody getting specialty food at your kiosk, guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely.
You just have to look, and you will look, and you will see the man or woman who's mad and waiting on the chef to show up with the filet that has no butter on it or no salt or something.
Correct.
I don't know what it is, but it's at every kiosk I see one person being like a pain in the ass, and I'm like, oh my God, that's hard.
Listen to you. Why even go?
Yeah, you're right.
You're at Food and Wine Fest. Like, if you have, like, you're allergic and you want specialty stuff, like, you know it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Thomas Van, at the age of 33, I acquired an adult onset shrimp allergy, and there's nothing more than I would love to go to High Tide Harry's and go sideways on some fried shrimp. But I don't go in the building anymore because I'm allergic to shrimp, and it's just not my bag, baby.
Yeah.
With us, the biggest thing is we get the questions that, and again, the college kids, they have the fear of God put in them, because if they might know the answer to the question, but if they answer it and they answer it incorrectly and somebody gets sick or something really bad happens,
right.
They don't want to be held liable. So they call me on even the most. So,
I would
hey,
too.
chef, does the cheddar bacon soup have pork in it? And I'm like, yes, it does, dear. And they're like, oh, okay.
Well, just confirming. I mean, it might be bacon flavored. You don't want to. You want your kid get on the Barnstormer, and you look up there, and his throat's closing, and you're like, well, nothing I can do. You're going to meet Goofy.
Don't even go.
Yeah.
To be fair, that ride's only 15 seconds.
It is.
Fine.
It's so fast.
So, what does it pay? How good? Because it sounds. I will tell you that anybody that I know that works in the restaurant industry or like hospitality management.
He's got the double hard. He's doing hospitality plus theme park.
Right.
Oof.
But they all tell me they're like, all my employees are horrible.
Okay, yes. I have heard that.
They just say they're like, everybody here doesn't want to be here and will quit at any second, and then I hire them back. They've been fired 10 times, and I can't find anybody else. I just hire them back, and they
heard of this.
No one cares, and there's like off and on, and everybody's bad at life. And it's the worst part. I'm like, wow, that sounds like it's tough being a restaurant manager. You know what I'm saying? Or like being in the restaurant industry or that kind of thing. It's just managing those employees seems difficult.
Yeah, it's management of any.
So it must pay a lot to deal with that. So what does it pay?
And not as good as many would think, especially within a company like that. It's more of a benefit compensation a lot of the time.
Gotcha.
Like for me personally, my health benefits are they're pretty outstanding. And again, I pay damn near next to nothing comparatively for other companies and things like that. So that's a big part of it. Various perks and discounts that come along. But overall pay, I mean, it all is really based on seniority. So it depends on how long you've been around, kind of depends on pretty much how much you get paid moving upwards. But I would say with people within my position, it's anywhere from 60 to 80.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's real good.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. It is difficult, though, and that's the thing that I want to point out. Like, I mean, all jokes aside, and we're making jokes about managing human beings. I have learned as an adult. With a child now, which I really stamps the adultness in, I do feel like managing is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
And it seems like in that type of industry and the work you're doing, it's twofold. One is hard to manage the employees, and also every one of the customers is always complaining or have allergies. You know what I'm saying? Like, hard to make them happy. So it seems like
that's more of what it is the people, yeah.
So it seems like it's almost you got the worst of both worlds, where it's like you're managing employees and your customers are horrible. Why do you do it?
Yeah,
like,
do you ever?
What's good about it?
For me, it's a lot of on the outside world, other professional chefs and people like Juan will tell you this, and Chef Ed and this and that. They'll tell you all that. Again, you're working potentially 18 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I've done that before, but in the position that I'm in now, I work maybe 10 hours a day at max, 5 days a week. I get more vacation days than I know what to humanly do with. I just took 2 weeks off from work and used 8 hours of vacation time.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
benefits and vacation
so-
time work, it just seems like a very rough and
Well,
hard industry to work for. you know?
Vacation time and benefits are normally what poor people bring up to make themselves feel better.
That's all you got.
Exactly.
It is,
They're not going to pay you.
Yeah, no, I do it too. I'm not saying I don't do it. I'm just saying, yeah, you gotta say those
It's just-
things or you'll really get sad.
In a day and age where it seems like, you know, you read all the articles or everybody's like quitting their job at a record pace or everybody's moving jobs and moving around, it's a great shift of America's workforce. It seems like the restaurant industry, hospitality industry, the less attractive industry to me when I see jobs where, like, if you get a job for the county or you get a job as a surveyor or whatever, like, you get in a truck, you go somewhere, you're working, you don't have to deal with customers.
Yeah.
Dealing with customers
Hard.
seems like the
Oh,
worst.
it's the worst.
Well,
Retail, all that
communicating. That's what you're doing, right? Because you're in the business of communicating. and-
Customers are horrible.
You see, you're on social media. If you don't work with the public, you've seen them, right?
They're
on social
horrible.
media. They're
Well,
horrible.
like that lady
And then
who-
being face to face with them every day. Oh,
It's
Yes,
horrible.
Hey, hey,
I'm like, how? No one wants to do that.
nobody wants to do it.
Brunchy, have you ever had, like that lady in Texas, have you ever had someone throw hot soup in your face?
No, I never something maybe that aggressive. I've definitely dealt with daily angry people come up with items that, again, everything's standardized. So, like, all the fillets are the same size. They're all 3-ounce portions no matter what, but one of them might be cut a little bit differently. And lady comes up and she's ranting and raving because the guy next to her got a bigger piece and she wants a different one. She wants that piece right there and pointing to it and trying to grab it herself. And I'm like, ma'am, you got to back out a little bit, please.
He's
No, I'm
grabbing
telling you it's the
steaks out
same
of a-
size, I promise.
Look, I
You know,
apologize.
So,
for
yeah,
that.
and that's an everyday thing.
You know what they
man.
took away from working in the restaurant industry that used to be a good perk is being able to take home old food. Like all my friends, the Grizz used to work at Quiznos, and then he used to bring home a garbage bag of
For
bread.
sure, people still do that. They're not supposed to, but they do.
Why
Well,
aren't they
the
supposed to do it?
Well, the corporate policies
yeah.
started becoming in, and then
Goddamn policies.
Yeah.
they're like, we have
Corporations
to
are
throw.
great. We
That.
should definitely follow their
Yeah,
policies.
yeah. So it's like they used to let you take home as much of the old food as you want, but it's like they don't want to get sued or get sick. Or like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So they just like, you have to throw it in the dumpster. So did they? you have to throw it in the dumpster, right?
Oh yeah, and there's certain things. It was actually I make the joke to some of the young because again it's college kids mostly that I'm dealing with, especially from a front of the house standpoint, where like if you have extra food at the end of the night, yeah, all right, chef might be nice and I might let you have some at the end of the night or this or that. But if it was a bad day, one of my favorite things to do is I will look at those college kids dead in the eyes while I throw the food away just because it was a bad night or they did something to piss me off.
Yes, food a-hole.
Again.
I love it.
Wow.
Again,
Seems
seemingly
like an abuse of power here.
not
Yeah.
worth 50 grand a month or a year.
You
or whatever.
stare
Grand
them in
a
their
month,
eyes
yeah.
as you're dumping out all of that egg
It's a
roll
little
filling.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, B. I
Take it
appreciate
easy,
that.
B.
I appreciate all the
All right,
info.
later, guys.
See you. See you
I
later.
like that. He was right on.
He's like, get that.
God,
He's like, you shut up.
it just seems like one of the worst industries for me, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Food service. I mean, like, well,
Restaurant.
I mean, like, if you're good at it, there are people I know that are just good at it. They don't get upset with customers, you know. Like if you,
It's weird. People are still attracted. Okay, let's look at the being a chef
Okay.
to begin with. Like, I know a lot of people that have like gravitated towards being a chef because they are just into it.
Right.
Like
they like
it's kind of
cooking. They like flavors.
like even like our buddy Mike
I
B.
like cooking and I like flavors.
It seems like he's always gravitated towards like food service and he likes
Might
cooking
be,
and
yeah.
like,
I
he
think
gets
that-
something
I think
out of
there's
it.
a passion there, yeah.
So that tells me that a lot of people
But then
must
I
get
also wonder
something
how
out
much
of it.
of plays into it of it's just what you're used to.
So that could
You
be
know
the
what I
case.
mean?
That could be the case.
I mean, Mike B could be like a U.S. naval fighter pilot working in food service.
Right.
It just seems like why would you choose to be in the industry based on all the nightmares I hear about the customers and them never being happy and how hard of work it is because it's extremely hard and stressful.
And you
like
get,
think about the high stress. Like everybody, you go into a restaurant on a busy night and it seems
it's
like
super high stress.
everybody is stressed out. Everybody's like running around dealing with some problem.
It's hard. Yeah, man. Food service is crazy.
So you mix that with like the semen. It's not like insanely great pay. I guess if you make good enough tips as like servers, it's good pay. But management, again, like it seems like to be a manager in that situation, it's too hard.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of having you're having to manage like your employees are managing the customers, and then you're managing your employees. It's too much managing. You know what I mean? Like,
and then no one's happy, and people are constantly like not. There's constant chaos, right?
But it'll always be that way, right?
It seems like that's the environment.
It does seem that way.
And so why are people still attracted to that industry?
Well, there is money in it, right? Because people still. I mean, these are businesses that are still thriving.
Well, not in the management part. I guess in the tip part, it's like,
And you don't necessarily need a college degree, right, to get those
that's
positions.
True.
Yeah,
so that's an
the
option.
requirements are different. Yeah.
you could work your way up. It's
Which I think Blarchie or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
did.
Blarchie. Blarchie's in our chat room right now. He says he oversees 300 cooks.
hey, that's a lot of
Yeah,
stress.
I say I don't want to do that.
Not for 60 or 80. Like you start getting into making 150, like you got an argument. You're like a lot of stress, but it's worth it, right? But it's like, well, if you can make,
It is a passion. Yeah, it's like he even said that in there.
it's got to be a passion.
Well,
right?
like all the people that I know that have really done it. Let's think about the people. Like you could play this game. Think about somebody you might know who cooks, but cooks at a very high. Think of high level, like actual chef. I'm not talking about, and this isn't a diss, but I'm not talking about, grilling hot dogs or something. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about you know what you're doing. You have the proper techniques. Maybe you've been schooled.
Or trained in some
Trained on
capacity.
that. Like there's actual knowledge here to be gained.
well, let's call it chilies and up.
Well, even that, a lot of that's reheating, right? But I know, like,
Well,
let's
there's
take our buddy Juan.
some sort
You're
of.
creating dishes.
But let's
There
take
has
Juan.
to be a pan.
Like our friend Juan, like,
there has to be a pan.
yeah. Well,
There has to be one pan involved.
all of the people I know that have
Call
done
that a
this,
one
though,
panner.
they're not rich, or
No,
they,
I know.
Or they move on to other things. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It seems incredibly hard, so there has to be passion involved. They have to get some enjoyment out of the food preparation.
Maybe it's kind
business.
of like you with gambling. It is so hard, and that if you can win over that one customer who is like troubled, but you give them this thing, this creation that you made, that you thought of with your brain, and you win them over, and you're like, that's why I do it? Is it something like that?
It must be like some sort of other enjoyment because the rest of the entire package, it doesn't seem appealing to me. With the customer and the employee
Now,
you're managing.
What I would ask other chefs, though, if you have a guy that had no formal training who walked in and learned his way from the ground up, but he still has the knowledge, right? It's not like he has like I went to this place that only certifies what can be called a chef, because people wing that term around like crazy, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's like this person is a chef, this person isn't a chef. I don't know when to use that word, cook, chef. I don't know the difference, but. You see what I'm saying here? It's like you can come in from different, like you can have guys that went to Le Cordon Bleu, or you can have the guy who just started in the diner and worked his way up. Do they, when they are in the same world, who's worth more? Or are they exactly the same, just different ways of getting there?
Well, I guess if you're trained or educated in some sort of fancier school, culinary school, like you have to have some sort of leg up on someone that just worked their way up from the bottom. It doesn't mean that you're better than the other person. The other person could be technically better, but it's like if you went to Harvard Law School, you're going to be more touted as a better lawyer, or at least more attracted.
You got into Harvard,
yeah. So, or whatever it is. So if you go to the best culinary schools, I guess that's where, but like even the like what we see as the advertisement for working as a chef is most famously Gordon Ramsay, right? Like, and what we see with those celebrity chef cooking shows and even that reality show.
Sure.
And it doesn't even look fun.
No.
It's like this guy
Hard.
yelling at you at a high stress environment, hot, and so that
You're supposed to provide precise cooking, like hard ass stuff.
and you can never stop. It's like
you'll get only stop when everybody leaves.
like most other jobs, like there's
I'd like
a
to
lot
work
of
the
downtime.
line. I'd like to work the line one night just to see if I could do it, and I know I can't. But I'd love to have enough skill with my cooking where
8
somebody
hours straight
just to
hot
say
work.
I did it, just to say I did it, and I think I'd have a better. If everybody did that, I think everybody would treat people at restaurants a lot better. They'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, you know what?
Everyone should have to work in
One
the
shift.
food industry.
One shift.
Yeah. At least for a day.
I would love for a chef that is doing that kind of like intense 10-hour day, like this guy, like dealing with the customers, dealing with the problems,
hard,
like putting out fires and all this stuff, literally, and just because it's nonstop, and then have that person switch jobs. And I know some of these people, they work for the government at home online because of the pandemic, and then see how much work they do, because it's such a difference, and the pay is probably damn similar. Because that's true. Like, some people have jobs like now, especially when they work from home, and their work day, they're still doing it online. They do the sales calls or whatever, but they're probably doing 3 hours of actual work. Like, if you count like every time they're like engaged in writing an email or on the phone or whatever, and compared to someone working in a hot ass kitchen for 8 hours straight nonstop.
You understand why people are leaving that industry now, and people are so short staffed because it sucks.
You start seeing,
and people are a-holes and treat them like crap when they're already not getting paid enough.
I wonder if some of this is us being so transparent in the world that you actually, because think about like 25 years ago, most people didn't even know what other people made, right? And it was like a faux pas, and now
that's still a thing where people are like, don't talk about what you make.
True, but the internet now, you could search basically everybody's average salary and whatever position and find some sort of accurate number. Like, you put any salary in Google and say like, what does this person make? And it'll come up with an average number that'll be close enough, right? Depending on the scenario. So everybody knows what everybody makes now. And you can basically with the internet see what everybody does, right? And kind of like how much work it is. And why the hell would you do a hard ass job for the same pay as an easy job? Why?
And this one's got,
for what?
They're not doing it anymore.
This one also, besides just having, not to go back to it, but besides being difficult, to me it just seems very complicated. And what I mean by that is, anytime you're having to communicate with a team of 300 people, but it's up to them to get out individual foods, because each one of those transactions, right, is individual.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a nightmare to me. You know what I mean? Like, logistically, the amount of allergies, the problems, the complaints, this one with sauce, this one without sauce, this one with cheese. And you have 300 people all doing that with thousands of other people.
Yeah.
Thousands.
And your job depends on getting it right. Someone's life may depend on getting it right.
I didn't want to get on that one, but what if you gave the kid peanuts? We made a joke about peanut dust because every parent does. My God, he could kill somebody.
How many days do you had to work with every employee showing up, no one calling in sick, no one having a problem, no one running late? Like every GD day, there's probably someone calling in sick or someone not showing up or someone coming in late that you have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? That seems like an insane pain in the ass for the money that you get, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is, oddly, I didn't think about going into it, but this one, oddly, is one of the tougher ones we've listed. I think as far as weird jobs.
Because if you're making 80 G's a year doing that, it's like, all right, that's a good living.
But he did say 10-hour days. That's not that bad.
That's pretty bad. 5 days a week?
Joking.
In the Twitch chat, they said the average salary for a podcast host, according to Google, is $87,274.
That is inaccurate.
That is who wrote that?
Google. That's what I'm saying. You can Google anything you want. It's not always going to be
Are they
correct.
just taking Rogan and everybody else?
Whatever
and they
the
do the
median
average
is.
and then he brings us up? Or
Yeah. That
is that what happened?
Although I do make more than that. I will tell you.
3 to 4 times that.
But the podcast is too niche of a job. But if you put an average salary for an accountant, like it'll come up something accurate. You know what I'm saying?
What's the average salary for a bike messenger?
That's too niche too. I bet they all make different because
those guys are important though, right?
They all bike messengers. I imagine just have different.
According
clients.
to Google, it can range from 22,000 to 32,000.
Yeah, it's small. Like
I knew it'd be small, but I thought it'd be a little higher than that. And I've seen some of the guys with specialty bikes and stuff where they do it professionally, where it's like
they're
all
putting
they
their
do.
lives on the line out there.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
People don't know how to drive.
And they got plans and stuff that have to be there same day, person to person.
Yeah, it depends on your client. Like you got some law firms. You know what I'm saying? It's like that all it's dependent. But anyway, I just think that transparency that the internet has given us nowadays has made a lot of people realize, like, what the hell am I doing working so hard? And if this guy over here is working a lot easier job than I am and making the same amount.
Did anybody here work food service? You did.
Yeah.
You did Subway.
I did Subway. I did Jason's Deli.
You did Jason's Deli?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, and that's
terrible.
Yeah, and that's kind of like because you don't get
Dr.
the
Dr. Diet Pepper. They had Diet Dr. Pepper. They had Dr. Diet Pepper there.
Like, at least if you work in a decent restaurant as a waiter or waitress and you're good at your job, you could bank on tips, right? If you have, you know.
Depends.
Well, if people are tipping, that is a two-way street. But for the most part,
You could be a really good server and people still don't tip well.
True. I'm just saying, like, at a, I mean, I went to Crest the other night at those places. Like,
but you usually have to be in the business for a long time to get
to
jobs
work
at,
your
like,
way
higher
up.
end ones
You went to
like
Crest. I love Crest.
Look at this guy.
my
Moneybags.
God.
He is making more than 87 grand.
Dude, Crest is good. What'd you get? Did you get steak? Gotta get a steak.
I got a steak and shrimp. Crystal took her sister, so I just tagged along.
Yes.
With the irony
Big
of it,
buttery steak.
all of them being vegan or vegetarian.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's weird.
But they have a vegetarian menu.
The atmosphere's nice.
Well, they have I guess they have a vegan menu that the chef makes for them.
That's cool.
But it's still $380.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's too much. It's like this. Too much.
Now, before we
Way
get
too
out of here,
much.
I know we got to get out of here, but Concrete Toad, our good friend Concrete Mike, he said he was a chef at Linda's La Cantina for a year. What haven't you done, Concrete
That's
Mike?
true. He also said he had 2 jobs at 12, which I believe.
Yeah, he did say he had 2 jobs
Mike,
at 12.
that's more of a cook. And I feel like chefs get mad.
Oh, man, I hope he breaks your driveway up. I hope he drives there and smashes
Mike,
it.
I know Concrete Mike. He was a cook at the cantina. And I bet chefs get mad that cooks call themselves chefs, right?
Oh, I bet.
Because there's a difference,
It
right?
started the age-old fight between me and Juan about Linda's. I can't get a good steak there. And Juan's always, it's the best steakhouse in town. I've been 3 times.
I'm going to go.
Like, Juan's a chef.
It's garbage.
Concrete Mike was a cook.
You're tearing the chat room apart.
I'll say what I feel.
You want.
This is how I feel deep inside.
This is the kind of family you want.
This
You
is
want
how I
Concrete
feel.
Mike, and you're. Is this your core?
This is how I feel in my
All
core.
right, hey, if it's a core, I have to respect the core.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We've got a special guest. Debra's here from Fairvilla Megastore. How you doing, Debra?
I'm doing great.
So, we were talking EDC, and I need to ask everybody here a question.
Oh, you have
about
ED?
EDC. No, I don't.
Now,
Not yet.
I knew this was going to come up when you come in here.
I'll be mad, but I'll take the drugs and all the stuff.
Yeah, why not?
And then
I take the drugs right now.
No,
No, I mean like right now. I'm on the drugs.
Nice.
So, of course, EDC just happened in Orlando, and we've been telling everybody, like, hey, if you're going to get your costume,
Do you
and
know
get
what that
out
stands
fair-
for?
Electric Daisy Carnival. I know.
See,
Pop knows something.
I didn't think you knew that. The fact that you
Come
answered
on.
that
I
wasn't
know
a
that.
diss. I thought you'd get one of the words wrong.
And
Electric Chainsaw Carnival.
and I understand the music and the DJs that go there. I don't know their names per se, but I know the
I don't either.
Dead Mouse, and then even what's his name? His dad was the owner of
Steve Aoki.
Aoki.
Well, those guys are old guys now.
Oh, okay.
You got to get the new guys. Like those guys are like mainstream 2011 DJs.
But the same genre, they would be be at EDC in the past, right?
Yes.
So it's like similar to that, right?
Yes.
And I saw, especially this year, it seemed like more people on my social media feeds were going to EDC, and people that
You're just getting younger.
I didn't expect to go, like people my age, which I thought EDC was a young man and woman's game. Like I was expecting everybody to be in their teens and early 20s for EDC, and I was seeing some dads and moms head out there.
Yeah, I think it really probably crosses more of those demographics than you think. I know. My daughter was actually doing a clinical at a hospital, and the doctor that happened to be interfacing at the time, he was going, and I'm like, what?
The doctor? I do. I wouldn't expect that.
You're going to hurry up with this heart transplant. I've got a kick-ass light show in my future.
So walk me through the night. So I decide to go to EDC with my wife, right? And then
get out the cigarettes.
Buddy.
So first I got to get my...
You need boots. First thing you need, you need lime green furry boots.
Like, because I can't just dress in like shorts.
You got to dress
sandals.
like the Ultimate Warrior.
You can, but you'll stand out.
You got to dress like Ultimate Warrior, Randy Macho Man Savage. You got to be neon colors. You have to be shredded. Like you got to have like all
tassels.
You have to have tassels. You have to have glasses, pageantry, maybe some body paint. You need to have leg warmers. You need spandex. You need green boots.
So you have to dress up, right, Debra?
You don't have to, but again, like my friend Derek, he was telling us this past weekend that he had gone a few years ago, and he was just in a black T-shirt and jeans, and he said everyone there thought he was working the festival. They were like handing him gear to like load
Security,
on stage.
So but it's like going to a Halloween party not dressed up,
right?
Okay.
Exactly.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
So what if I want to do the least, because I'm not dressing like Macho Man?
Put on a light up cowboy hat like Glenn.
No.
We had light up cowboy hats, by the way.
Do you still have any?
I don't know if we still have any.
Tom,
but
we got to run down.
No, I'm not doing that. Just because of
You
the
look
past.
like
I'm
a
not
gay
doing
You're turning into your past. Just
I'm not
embrace it.
No, what can I? Well, what can I do as a sensible?
Well, I know.
No fun.
I don't
dad?
think sensible is the right.
Why don't you? Why don't you
Can I
just
wear-
wear? You like little shorts?
So
Follow
that'll
me.
work.
Yep.
Little
Okay,
shorts,
all right.
headband,
Yep.
no shirt, body paint.
Yep.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
lean now, dude. I think you could do it.
Okay, so little shorts, headband. I get
Little
behind
shorts
that.
and headband. You already wear that anyway. And right
I'll
here-
go wear a tight shirt. I'll just wear a
No.
tight shirt. I
Mesh
don't want to go
tank
no.
top.
Mesh
no,
tank top
not mesh.
would work.
Okay, how about tank top with 2 holes cut out so your boobs hang out?
No, that wouldn't.
Neon tank top.
Neon tank top.
There we go.
So
We sell Tom and Dan neon tank
Oh,
tops.
there you
It's
are.
true.
now I understand, not for everybody.
You gonna twirl?
But
How's your twirling?
for
Because you got to twirl when you go to this.
the way I like to party, and I'm guessing other people, you have to take ecstasy. That's the only thing I know.
I
It's
didn't
like
realize
You don't
you have
have
to be tripping.
It will make you twirl better.
Yeah. Because ecstasy is what I know as a stereotypical drug involved.
I
with
heard you
these
singing that
festivals.
this morning. This guy sitting at his desk. He's like, a little bit of ecstasy.
So
A little bit of you and my.
I've never done ecstasy. I imagine it takes a couple hours
it's
to
Molly
kick in.
now.
It is Molly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what does it take? About the same time as an edible kicks in? I'll take that too. I like those.
No,
You're
don't
gonna
take 'em both.
overdose, man.
Don't take 'em
no,
both.
this is
Don't
weed.
take 'em
That's
both.
the
I
thing.
think
So
you
you-
should pick something. Pick weed? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
One or the other.
So I'll take weed because I'm too scared to take ecstasy. Because in the
God.
90s they're like, it'll fry your brain, and I still have this like.
You just gotta stay hydrated.
And then, yeah. I'm bad at staying hydrated.
You gotta make sure you test it in front of your dealer.
So-
That's what I used to do. I was like, you test that in front of me.
Here's the
I shouldn't be saying
major issue for me, because I'll get behind all that. Tiny shorts, ecstasy, I'm all on
Tiny
board.
shorts, XC, look at what you're gonna see. I
So
thought you were rapping.
the problem for me is that once I'm in the field and then
You're
the
twirling.
the DJ's playing, and then I'm in like a crowded, I imagine it's kind of like, I've been to like, concerts before. It's crowded. You're like nut to butt, standing there. And then
Don't say that in front of Debra.
they're
please.
playing, the house music,
Yeah.
dum, dum, and they're doing the whole thing. What do I do? Just
Twirl,
watch.
you twirl.
I'm not a twirler. And then that's
There's a lot of jumping.
Yeah,
There's a
you
lot
can
of
jump.
movement.
You can march. You can march. March.
Don't do that, Tom.
What fun is that to me? Like, is that fun? Just standing there
to some
dancing?
people, to my friend Rebecca. My friend Rebecca
am I
said it's her
doing?
favorite thing in the world. She said went all 3 nights. She's
And
like,
then-
this is my favorite thing in the world.
And then it's the dancing with the other people? Is it the ecstasy?
I
What is it?
I asked her. She was not able to articulate it, but it's her
I
favorite thing.
need it written
It's
down.
their favorite thing. They love it
is
more
it?
than they love their own families.
Is it the dancing with the people? What is it?
Well, I think so. And that energy, and I mean, it's the pageantry of it all.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. It's a
you know,
spectacle.
it is a spectacle.
It's a
Yeah.
show. There's visually, it's like, and I think there's probably some sort of serotonin dump because you're watching all the things and you're like, I don't know. You don't have to be on drugs to be at that, but I mean, yeah, I think being altered in some way could, depending on how you live your life, could.
You're waiting in the
good or
long
bad.
line for
Funnel cake.
alcohol. They have like fair food there.
I
What is
don't
it?
know. What do
The
they have for food there?
I don't
Does
know.
anybody know?
Like, I don't think anybody eats on ecstasy, right? Like, you're grinding your
Norm
teeth.
does.
Orange
Norm does.
Orange juice.
Oh, orange, yeah.
You
It's
gotta
like
have orange
so.
juice.
It's like
A
there's not
lot
that
of
much
water.
food. There's a place to sit down. Like, what else am I doing?
What do you want,
I
a
don't
picnic
wanna-
table at EDC? Oh, I'll be near their picnic tables.
Well, I know there are
you're too
rides,
old, bro.
right?
You want a picnic
God,
table.
You're too old.
Because I'm not even that old, but I assume everybody else like you.
I'm not going to EDC. I'm doing the after hours tour.
I'm seeing the
I
other
get too afraid.
dads my age, and they went, and I'm like, "Are you dancing around? Are you
they're
grinding
twirling.
your wife? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you grinding with other people? Like, then I'm back in. Then I'm like, all right, so I can go there and I can just
Tribal grind.
tribal grinding. See,
Yeah.
see now you brought me back
Tribal
in, and you're like,
grinding.
you can go here, get on ecstasy, and then just start tribal grinding.
Everybody.
With a bunch of
Other grinders.
other grinders, which I'm like,
In the tribe.
girls in their late 20s,
Yeah.
like tripping too, and
Well,
then
you
I'm
might
tribal
find some,
grinding.
You might find some older people in there too.
And then my
Hey,
wife
look
is
at
tribal grinding, which I imagine with like an old guy with long stringy white hair and a light up top hat, and
that.
he's
Long, stringy white hair.
like I see those guys.
Like, God, what is she?
I see
She's
the
now
old men that
dancing
go-
with Yanni's second keyboard player, that Asian guy with the long white hair.
Every old man I see at EDC is super skinny Birdman chest with a light up top hat.
Nice.
And I'm like, you are a homeless person at Key West.
Okay, no, every he's
sure.
Saved
he
it
is
all year.
right.
Yeah.
Every old man at EDC,
Yeah.
oddly enough, is also every old man at Millennium Mall. At anything, there's always a skinny old man who's
Yeah.
slightly homeless at every festival.
But they're like free and they take drugs and they've been a hippie, like they're left over from the hippie era and they go to EDC.
No generation claimed them,
Right.
so they just kind of
yeah.
danced around, But anyway,
Anyway,
There you go.
Sorry, Deborah.
we're gonna go next year, buddy. You and
So
me.
definitely come to us because we had so much success and had so much great product. We are going to amp it up even bigger and better next year for our EDC and other stores too. We had some selection at the Cape and iDrive, but let me tell you, that iDrive store is going to have a lot more merch that deals with EDC. It's
Sam, plan this
specific,
down, and I'm
so-
dead serious about it. Write
Yeah.
this down so we don't forget.
Okay.
We will go and we will get outfitted.
Oh yes,
And we will buy
outfit
tickets
you.
to the
we'll be
first
the official.
day.
Yeah.
Right? And then we'll just go. We'll just go and experience it fully dressed, body paint, whatever we're going to do.
Yeah.
Is there tribal grinding?
Consensual
happen.
tribal grinding.
There will be
yes.
consensual tribal grinding.
Well, it's like everybody goes to this area is consenting
down
and
with the
tribal
grind. Yeah.
tribal grinding.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was like, now
Yes.
you're starting to sell me. Anyway.
Okay.
All
So
right.
Deborah, what do we got here?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Black Friday, which is coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, and Fairvilla does participate. Typically that Black Friday through Cyber Monday isn't such a big thing for our stores, but we wanted to make sure that people were thinking about it.
Sure.
So on Black Friday itself, everything black in the store is 10% off. And then we have other specials. But what's really cool is that some of your favorite brands, some of the brands that we've talked about a lot here, Fun Factory, that's a very high-end German brand,
Yeah.
and also the brands under the Wow Tech umbrella, which is Womanizer, WeVibe,
yeah.
Pure Lubricants, Arcwave. So those are all 20% off Black Friday through Cyber Monday. And they're also on sale online.
Let me speak for a second on the quality of the Womanizer product. Just took that thing out the other night, plugged in my USB and recharged it, and we've given this thing it's it's like a rental car at this point. And that thing never fails, dude.
Yeah,
It is so well made. I understand now why these womanizer products have sold so well in your stores, because it's just a darn fine product. It's just real, and I don't even have the good one. There's like 2 more versions. I have like old technology. When have you known me to have old technology?
That is weird for you.
I know. I got like the old wood grain womanizer. Now they got like a laser.
They've
womanizer.
got a premium one, and they just released and updated their just their signature model in new colors, and it's improved. So there's, of course we're going to carry it. We have those in stock, and so you have to come and check it out.
There
so it's
you go.
something in every price point. But what's really cool are the kits that we've invested in. And when you can get 20% off a WeVibe or Womanizer kit, like that's really significant, because these are $200 kits. So it's a great opportunity. So we have the Silver Delights kit again this year, which also happens to be black, with a black Tango bullet, and then the really nice high-end Womanizer product inside. So these are, just one of the most wonderful kits.
That's awesome.
We've actually had this kit last year, and they brought it back, so we're really thrilled that that's going to be.
I can actually vouch for that product. That is exactly what I have. Just doesn't look that cool.
Yeah.
Mine is white. Mine's a standard. I got the standard. I got
Again,
the boring old standard.
Go premium. I feel like
you got to. Upgrade.
Normally in life, if someone wants me to upgrade anything, I'm so disillusioned by upgrades. I'm always like,
Get
no
the
upgrade.
warranty. Yeah, like, I don't want nothing.
It's like
How
the
about
used-
the rental insurance?
Yeah.
You can go after yourself. I don't need that.
Yeah, I think a rental car agency ruined it for the upgrades, because it's like we've been
That's a good
conditioned.
upgrade.
If you're gonna upgrade with a womanizer. Get the premium. It was like, I want the standard. No, you want the premium.
Let's get the premium.
Especially for what you're doing with it.
No, this is a WeVibe, right?
This is a WeVibe kit. It's called the Date Night Kit. It's brand new.
That's his and hers.
Yes. So it's but of course, you could use this just on a toy. It doesn't have to be a penis owner, but it's got 2 really awesome products. One is called the Nova, which is we call it a dual stimulator. So it kind of has this really soft, flexible arm that is on the outside. And so it basically applies constant contact to the outside of the female's body, while also has a section that goes internally. And it's amazing.
Yeah, that thing's
amazing.
There's a lot going on there.
Super high-end silicone. It's so soft to the touch. And this is a beautiful deep green. So it's not available in this color normally, and this is a limited time.
For Black Friday. And am I correct? And WeVibe was one of these companies that you always liked, because they were able to come out and do what a lot of the bigger companies were doing, but keep their price point like very like a value, right?
Well, I would not call them a value brand, but I think because these are app enabled, the item that you have in your hand, that's a C-ring for, it's called a Pivot is the brand.
The Pivot, that's what we have to do with all of our business ideas.
That's right. So the Pivot, what's neat is these items are app enabled. So with WeVibe, they're the leader in technology, I would say, when it comes to,
cool.
They were one of the first to come to the market with app technology on their items. And I love this Date Night Kit. So I would say absolutely take advantage of the 20% and come get it while we have it, because this is something that I know will sell out and we won't be able to get any more.
Now, I was going to mention the ring because the silicone does stretch out, because Tuna Can Dan over here. This is like
embarrassing.
I call this size Shaq's pinky finger. The regular. Anyway, I never in my entire life, because I've heard a lot of women talk about all these products and how much they enjoy them, and critique them or whatever. And maybe it's just men in general, but never talked to any of my friends or anybody, even a listener, that were into the C-ring as much.
I feel like it's an old school thing that's now coming back.
Oh,
but it's got to be popular.
Yeah. I think before it was a battery operated with a little power slot, corded bullet that's got slid into this really
you're plugged into the wall like an Xbox. It's like it's weird,
So it's definitely been improved, updated, and also, look, it's a great thing to help with those folks who don't want to get there too quick.
Yes.
So they want to make sure that there's proper constriction. I think that the rings you'll see now, they're a little bit wider and differently shaped, so they're more comfortable.
From what I've been told, too, it can also assist in keeping your broom pointing towards the sky, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
To me, it falls into the category is these things have standed the test of time.
That's a 100-year-old invention. Seriously, it is.
Yeah.
And because they still make them and they're still popular, I'm like, what am I missing out on? Like, that's all I think about. I'm like, so many people must love these that I'm missing out on it. You're like, it's got to be good, right? It's a percentage good that I'm missing out on.
It's not like they don't. It's not like they haven't sold one. They're continuing to sell hundred thousands. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's. I'm probably like most people where they just get so used to the standard and never venture outside the standard. And there's like so much better. Like, if you go,
I'm on some new levels lately.
if you learn how to ski, you're not going down the same run every single time, right? You're trying different things. You're like, I've been trying Black Diamond. Oh, too much for me. But at least I tried it. Like, and there's people going down the Black Diamonds who are like, well, they like it.
Some people are bored of the Black Diamonds. They go to the Brown Diamonds.
They go anyway. What do we got next?
Okay, and by the way, those are waterproof toys too. So
Yeah.
a little shower fun, or whatever you might.
I
have.
would wear that.
I don't need mine to be waterproof, by the way. I was just putting it out there.
I need mine to be dry proof. You got
There's
anything
no
that's
water
sand proof.
And before we leave, Wow Tech and specifically Womanizer, if you are ready to update or upgrade, like you've had the actual Womanizer, and you're like, okay, that's been fun. We also make what's called a Duo. So there's an internal arm, and the external piece actually has that air technology.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a one-woman womanizer?
And of course, like this one's sealed. I don't know, but we can cut it open.
Is
you can look at it.
It looks
But
like
yeah,
a microscope.
Yeah, you don't have to take it out, but is that like a I mean, okay, the regular womanizer can be used by your partner or by said woman who is using it, right? Is this one am I correct in thinking that this could be mounted and
it's an
I
internal
don't know how
arm.
to say, there you go.
It is an internal, so it is a dual stimulator. It's just instead of having a vibration on the external portion, it's the air pleasure technology. So you have vibration on the inside and air pleasure on the outside. So
the air pleasure is where it's at, guys. That's
they
the part
like
I'm talking
to
about.
say that it creates a blended orgasm.
I wonder
You okay
if,
with that?
I thought there was only one. I didn't know there's different kinds. I don't know blended anything.
Yes.
I thought it was
I've heard of blended families before.
Apparently
blended orgasms create blended families.
I thought it was on-off scenario. I don't know. There's levels or is on a spectrum.
You got to go to the next level, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Man, womanizers are gone crazy.
Yeah, they really have.
Debra, do you think most people use these things alone or with their partner?
That's a great question, man.
Because and I'll just tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think it has to be most people use them alone. And the only
Not
reason.
my house.
Well, well, you're the anomaly with all of us.
Well, no. The only
my house.
like
You're the anomaly.
like in your
Although,
house.
I don't know, we gotta ask Bowler.
Because you got them, and I
It's
got
a 2-2.
My-
I don't think I answer.
My wife would prefer that I be there I'm like the crane operator, you know what I mean? Like I'm turning things on, making sure things are charged up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, and this is where I come up with this conclusion, because when I'm watching videos, sometimes doing research,
It's not research.
And-
It's not documentaries.
every once in a
They
while,
are.
I'll land on a video where they have a fleshlight involved, which is the male equivalent of, let's say, a womanizer, right?
Oh, I'm getting auto blow commercials on every video.
Oh, I bet you
even
are.
on YouTube, even on places they shouldn't be.
Let me tell you.
They're pumping money into it, right?
Yeah. Yep, they're very smart.
And then I'll see in those particular videos sometimes, and a lot of times it's a stepsister. I'm sorry, Debra.
Oh my God!
I'm just telling you the plot of the show.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you the plot of the show. And then the stepsister is utilizing the fleshlight on the stepbrother, right? And when I watch it, I'm like, that probably rarely happens. Not even with the stepsister scenario. I'm just saying with anybody. I'm like, most of the time, and because in my mind, it's Norm by himself in the bathroom hiding from his wife.
Yeah. I would venture to guess that most of the time when you're dealing with those types of products for men that we're talking about, like the fleshlights, those are typically used by the individual by themselves.
Yeah.
But
Tom at a truck
it's not
stop.
all the time. And I'm really glad it's going to be a good lead into the next product I brought.
He's
but,
good at this.
Thank you.
He's a pro.
But as far as women using products or anybody getting a new item, I always tell them, experiment a little bit on your own so you get comfortable with that, and then have fun with your partner. That's not necessarily, you don't have to do it that way. Sometimes it's fun to just rip into the package and then, let it fly.
That's what we did. We did like, oh, let's try it. Oh, you do it. Oh, feel it. It was like that. It was like a discovery thing. It's like, ooh, I'll try that. You like that? It was like that.
Well, and see, that's the key. I think as long as you have
Look
good
how
communication,
like
and then you guys are giving and taking. You're letting each other know what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes people aren't that progressive with their communication.
I put it on the tip of my nose. I put it on my nipple. Put it on my knee.
But that's super important. But we try not to gender the toys. You can use them however you feel, and whatever kind of experience you want.
I wonder if that's becoming easier for toy companies because like now they're like, oh, thank God we don't have to do 2 sets now.
Yeah,
we're just gonna do 1 set. Use it how you want it.
Yeah, pretty
it's
much
better that way.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely.
What is this now?
So kits are really big for the holidays, and Fun Factory is a German brand.
Fun Factory.
They're so awesome. They're doing a really great campaign for their anniversary. Everybody wants a German ride.
Is that their
slogan?
I love that. They should get with Hollowbox.
And so they have the Blow and Glow kit. And I'll let you use your imagination on that.
Like blowing out a candle.
Yeah. So it comes with...
I'm sorry. My old black grandmother just walked in. Excuse me, baby. What are you doing? Did you hear that?
I'm commenting.
I heard it.
So
you were doing the Kanye, the new album. That's the Kanye.
So I don't even know what we're thinking with that. Yes, it's true. So we have the Manta, which is actually designed for
wow.
Yeah. Again, this could be used on your person by your partner.
That's a sniper holder. That's like the thing you put your gun on when you're trying to...
Has a travel lock, by the way.
That is
it is a masturbation tool. And so this is
for who?
So look,
I am the god now.
I'm going to see if I can say this in a PC way. So Blow and Glow, let's just say you're, want to get busy with some oral action, and sometimes you want a little helping hand. And this is what that is, a little helping hand.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's you basically
it vibrates. It's silicone. You add a little lubricant to it, and it's got
that's amazing.
It looks like wings. They call it the Manta for a reason. It kind of looks like
it's also, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of an old Shure SM58 mic stand. You slap the mic down. Good night, Cleveland.
Well, there's certain rock stars that they'll unscrew the bait and
they'll hold that.
And they'll hold the
That's
tip
called
of
the Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, the Freddie Mercury. This is what this is, basically.
Yeah, there you go.
You're but also... could anybody tell me? Now, will this make the... Okay, so... With
landmines.
So say
Squid Game.
So say my wife is using this, right? And she already I'm just putting words in her mouth, but she
Nice.
already doesn't want to be doing what she's doing, right?
Yo, I'm dropping words in your mouth, son.
Like she either owes me or this is some sort of duty that she has to fulfill.
Like my daughter picking up Maggie the dog's doo-doo with an napkin.
You don't want to do it, but you can't leave it in your neighbor's yard, so you have to.
And then my daughter looks at me and says, yuck. That's so gross.
So, and then she has this, right, which is propping up the
It's
sniper
like a
rifle.
stick you poke a bloated alligator with. Like, boop, is he dead? Is he dead? He's dead.
So then is she gonna complain because she's like, well, I'm already don't want to be doing this, and now it's vibrating. You see what I'm saying? Like, so
it might
does
help
that
her.
make it better?
That's what I was going to say. I think it might
Remember, we
help.
have a kit. So we have another one of these C-rings here
Like-
that has some pretty amazing vibration that
That thing's
you
got
can use independently, or you can use
Okay,
it.
Deborah, I'm sorry, but I've never seen a C-ring
got
with
an
an
idea.
LED screen on it.
That
That is insanity.
When I'm hold on, well, let me explain it like this. When I'm on
Is
vacation,
that touch screen?
I don't want to put my Sonic
it's a
hair.
light. Okay.
Yeah, just push that little. It's actually the button, so push it. And
Oh, whoa.
oh, yeah, right.
Oh, that-
two little
I
motors. It
don't-
has little ears. So just think of that's kind of.
That's too fast, though.
well.
I don't know if I could. Try that, buddy.
So
Put your finger in that.
when I go on vacation, I don't bring my Sonic hair because it's too big and to fit in my dop kit. So I bring a regular travel toothbrush, and then when I'm using it on vacation,
The one where you make the handle out of the thing it goes in, right?
yeah. So I'm using the standard toothbrush on vacation, and I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm like, well, this is less aggressive than the vibrating Sonic hair. But the Sonic hair works better. But I do enjoy. I'm like, regular toothbrush is like less.
Sometimes you got to enjoy the simple things.
So then, is that gonna be the same Sonic hair to the regular?
Oh, you mean like it's ruined it for
Yeah.
you?
Well, no, I'm just saying for my wife, she's getting the Sonic hair. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do
Which
see what
is
you're saying.
Maybe more of a pain for her.
Well, you don't want that all the time.
Well, listen, you can use that by yourself too. There's nothing saying that
What?
you have to use
But it
that
could
by.
also facilitate you to finish faster, which is probably better for her, right? If she doesn't want to do it, get it over fast.
That's true, but I like to
is
take my time because I know she hates it.
slow. I'm like my grandfather doing
I feel like we better get to the rest of the kit before we go.
Yeah.
We just draw it out because I'm like,
oh
this
my
is what
God!
you-
It's like sitting at Cracker Barrel with my grandma. I'm like, we've been here for 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours.
So this is the kind of thing that that I've been waiting for, is the technology
A robot hand.
to get to the point where I'm like, this could be something I've been missing all my life, and if
What's the grip
What-
strength on that?
because what if you use it is you're
big
like,
does
this
it
is
go out?
25% better than the regular. Like, you've been missing out 25% enjoyment
Oh, yeah,
your
look at
entire
that.
life.
Look at that.
Wow,
Oh, it
that's
grips
actually
a
pretty
bubbly.
impressive.
Yeah, I did
Oh
not.
my God.
I did not think it would grip
Yeah,
a
no,
bubbly.
this thing going. Look at that.
Oh, don't stretch it
Oh,
out.
I'm good. Hey, how you doing? Just vibrating my soda. It works. That's
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, well, don't
Now we
stretch
have a
it
whole
out.
new technique of showing it too.
Put a belt around it now. To use it.
It's like the old crazy glue commercials where they'd glue the guy's helmet
Oh, I remember
under
that.
the beam, and then
Yes.
they'd make him stay. And they're like, "Look, I'm glued." He's like, "Look at me, it's holding me."
Yep.
You remember those, Tom?
Yeah.
Before your time.
no, I hear that.
Probably before your time. They don't do stuff like that with products anymore.
No.
All right, what else we got
Also,
here?
in that same kit, the Blow and Glow is a really nice little massage candle. So remember,
you
you can
go.
make the experience, and because they have a sense of humor, they have a hair scrunchie.
A little hair scrunchie.
I don't know if I'm like everybody else, but as soon as I get the green light, if you like it's go time, I'm panicked that at any time it could be taken away. So I'm like rarely light the candles, or like I have the wedge from the last
so
time.
you get the green light.
From the last time.
So you go. So you mean you?
I'm
have
just like,
how
go,
long's
go,
your
it's gonna
window?
go-
It's not a 30-second
This
window.
I'm in a panic scenario where like, oh my God, it's happening.
How
like,
is that enjoyable if you're
well,
panicking?
because I'm like, I got the green light. I better take it. Get while the getting's good, as they say.
You got to get the getting.
Yeah. And so I feel like if I take any time lighting a
So
candle,
you like light the candles,
Or
you
do-
maybe
play
go
the
take
music.
a shower, comb your hair, put on some music, and then you walk out just like, I'm tired now.
well, that's what I'm afraid of.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my God, she's willing to do it. Go. And it's like,
Are you making her rush through it too? Because that might be the problem.
no,
Yeah.
no, but because once
Can she feel your anxiousness?
yes. And then when
off
it
of that.
starts, I'm like,
Nightmare.
all
But
right,
people
it'll
feed
probably
off of
finish.
that. You know,
Huh?
like me, when I'm anxious, I can see my daughter gets anxious, or you know what I mean. Like people
Yeah.
feed off of that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
be cool, man. You look better than you've ever looked. You look very handsome.
That doesn't matter. It's my
does
personality. My personality.
Well, just be
So
quiet.
panicking and
So
freaking
just-
out
so
is
just
gonna
be
help.
quiet.
It's my
So
personality.
don't talk. Just
No,
stand
that's-
there. When
that's
she-
the problem.
When you
That's
get the
the
green
problem.
light, just shut your GD mouth.
No, that's the problem.
Okay.
Too quiet, and what I do say pisses everybody off. that's my curse.
And it's like he's been Tom, you've been
That's what
quiet the
everybody
whole
tells
time.
me.
Do you have something to say? And you're like,
Nope.
I do. You're not going to like it.
That's what it is. It's like, why you been so quiet? What do you think? And then I'm like, whoa, here we go.
right,
Here we go.
What happens? What's gonna happen next?
Maybe
Not
talk.
gonna
I
like-
figured it out.
Yeah.
Maybe talk less and just present
just
your
blow and glow
date
about
night kit
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
your blow and glow.
Yeah.
And just to remind you, for those Black Friday through Cyber Monday, also all the pure lubricants are also 20% off.
Oh, those are
which
the good
super,
ones.
Super, again, German made.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I can say
product.
that. You probably can too, but those are the good ones. The pure ones are awesome. They're really, really well made.
And again, Black Friday, anything black. So I got like this cute little set. It's a little noir set. It's a little fetish set, but it's got this cute little purse.
Yeah, it's like a
you
little
can-
evening bag.
Yep, it has cute little tassel pasties and a little blindfold and
Tassel
I mean, it's so
pasties.
cute. Little bullet in there, vibrating bullet. So it's really a
What
fun
happened
little
to the
kit.
tassel pasty?
They still make them.
I'm a fan of the tassel pasty because I like something. I like a little more.
You're a brushman.
I am a
Yeah.
brushman.
You
I
like brushes.
I like brushes and tassels.
Yeah. You've always like, even from that old joke of the.
Yeah, I used to make
the
this
Predator
joke. I think last
cheerleaders.
time you were in, I said this. This
Yeah.
weird though. Every time Debra comes in here, I talk
It
about
was
this.
a different time. It was 2008.
There used to be a dancer on the Predators dance squad named Genevieve, and she had like really long hair. And I always thought it would be fun to wrap my nude body in saran wrap, and then just have her dust her hair over the saran wrap. It's like a sensory table.
Yeah. That you're
you
a
go.
brusher. You like the brushing.
Yeah, I do.
Like the brush.
What
That's
about the
nice.
blindfold? I feel like that's a standard that has
Yep.
always been around, similar to.
Do you have one?
I don't have one.
No, I do. Naturally, I have two in my room, and my wife and I each wear one. We wear sleep masks, but a sleep mask is awesome because you can also
Absolutely.
use it sometimes when I'm, let's just say sometimes I get the green light, I drop the mask down because it's kind of fun to be in the dark when that's happening.
Yeah, and that's like a staple in our store. We
Yeah.
always have a variety
Blindfolds
of
for
masks and
everybody.
blindfolds.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I've seen through my research in the videos is anytime there's a blindfold involved, usually there's a bull involved. I don't know. yeah, Debra knows.
A different man.
Well, yeah, because that's what you're trying to hide. It's like I don't see it as much of a blindfold and you with your partner that you know. Because I feel like then it's like, why am I like? She's gonna be like, I know it's you. Like, you've laid on me before. But if
You have a distinct
Laid on me.
you have a distinct smell.
you're breathing, you're corroding my face.
Oh wow.
So, but I understand it when it's the blindfold with the, usually it's a best friend scenario or something like that. It's like, this is my best friend. Anyway, I feel like you use a not your best friend, like just a acquaintance at work.
You're just like a homeless person.
So a stranger.
Yeah, just a complete stranger.
But they have the blindfold on the wife, so she doesn't see what
The
she's doing.
switcheroo, yeah.
With the
Which is some sort of-
but she knows, like it's
assault.
obvious. And the husband's in there, and he's talking, which is also weird. It's like, don't talk.
Keep your voice down. I think she's on to us.
It's awkward, but like, so is that it? Is the blindfold not to be able to see the partner that you're with?
It's sensory.
Yeah,
So it's supposed to heighten what's happening to you or
Right.
the sensations that you're feeling.
Exactly.
That's
Debra
really
nailed it.
what-
Like
yeah.
when I put on a blindfold, I can hear my wife's pubic hair.
Well, would a blindfold and earplugs work?
Well, that's what my wife wears every night. No, seriously, she does. That's how she sleeps.
Yeah.
Because then you're only feel, right? And then that's got to heighten your feel.
I would assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
but I wonder
senses
why
you
they
take
don't-
away.
I touch my wife. I'm like, I can feel how you smell.
I wonder.
Like it's like you go to you're like Neo in the Matrix or something.
There you go.
But then it was like if it's a sensory thing, wouldn't the blindfold come with the earplugs and like ultimate sensory?
My blindfold did come with earplugs.
Well, that's a sleep thing. I feel like
Is it though?
I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like I'm telling you that I think people use, like it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
you know,
I-
like
I-
do you close your eyes during adult time?
No,
Have you ever thought to see what you're doing during it? I close my eyes. I'm naturally, when I'm very much into something, I kind of go away, and I'm just
Gonna get lost in the moment.
sort of, yeah. I'm kind of like, you remember the anime movie Akira, where he starts becoming the blob monster and just eating and killing all the humans? That's why I feel like I become one with my wife. I absorb her. We are intertwined.
I'm like darting my head around.
Cops are here.
Sometimes I'm looking straight up, and then I look around, and I'm like,
You're looking straight up.
I'm like the big pile of laundry over there. I started criticizing things in my head. Anyway, sorry, it wasn't nice.
You definitely need the blindfold.
Well, usually it's the woman wearing it, right? I never see the man wearing it.
There's no rules.
I've never considered that.
I'm going off the videos. I'm just saying what I've seen.
I see a lot of guys wear
That could just be your algorithm.
Yeah, I think your
true.
algorithm's different because I see guys wearing
I do too,
blindfolds.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
What is
More,
this?
well, more black stuff. Of course, we have the body stockings and the lingerie. I brought you one of those, but this is the Tenga. I think this one's called the Orb. I have to
What?
Yes.
The orb.
This is for you, Tom.
Yep. So it is basically again a masturbation tool for those penis owners out there, and you can open it up completely and kind of see exactly what is inside of it. But it's this really super squishy
But it's like
tunnel. It doesn't vibrate. It's not scary. I don't know if you realize, but Tenga is a Japanese company, and they make some really amazing products. And
this is.
it just kind of unsnaps and opens up at.
Oh, there we go. Oh my word.
So it has these little orbs and it has all this texture inside, so you get a totally different type of experience.
Look at that.
Wow, there's a lot of orbs.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in their hair.
So yeah, a little lube, and
you use your-
that's for your own personal benefit.
It's kind of hard to describe, but imagine the outside of the what is that, silicone, medical grade silicone or latex or
it's probably like what they call like a TPE because it's super stretchy.
Yeah,
so it's got a hard plastic kind of outer shell.
and you can use that to give pressure or
Correct.
grip to that. I mean, it's crazy the amount of thought that went into, and the fact for cleanup or whatever. I mean, this
can
is a
open up
practical.
completely.
This is
You can also
Yes.
squish it on either side,
Yeah.
which is an interesting.
so practical.
Seems
Yeah.
like they looked at like the fleshlight and they're like, "How do we make this better?" And
Yeah.
then they've made it better.
and possibly cheaper because at that point it's a manual device, not an
Right.
electronic device, and easier to
Yeah.
clean all the way around and easier
Yeah.
for them to produce.
Yeah, Tenga products are awesome. I highly recommend them, and we do.
Is that
carry
their
a-
first upgradable one? Because we've had the eggs before. Is
We
that
have the eggs.
The first
Actually,
bigger?
they have cups, which look kind of like a tube.
Okay.
But this is upgraded from the tube. All right. So this is definitely a more permanent item that is easier to clean, like you said, because you can open up, it can completely dry.
That's one of the only ones I've seen
Yeah.
of these, I guess, tools.
Yes.
If you get 20% off this, is considered.
It's a black item,
oh,
so you'll get
yeah.
10%, but
Oh,
still
10, all right.
take it. That's on Friday only.
That's awesome. Like
Yeah.
that, when I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, that's got a lot of practicality involved.
Yep.
For
And-
our truckers on the road away from
Yeah.
your wife. I mean, you might want to look into this. What's this one called again?
well, this is by Tenga, and I believe this one is
Orb.
actually the Flip Orb.
Flip orb.
Flip Orb.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yep, absolutely.
great.
Yeah, super cool. Again, the Black Friday, the 10% black items is only on the Friday. Those other specials run through Cyber Monday.
Gotcha.
And then I just have one other thing for you guys
Oh,
because
we skipped our
oh,
lingerie.
the lingerie, yes.
We have beautiful black lingerie. Mm-hmm. I'll avoid the back of the box just because, I don't know, the Twitch is weird. Sometimes
Yeah, you don't
about
want to show too much,
Yeah.
but I actually brought in a one size fits most dress body stocking, so it's not full all the way to the floor. And
I'm
again,
a fan of that.
What a great stocking stuff. Make a naughty stocking and start planning now, and might as well get a discount on
Stocking in the stocking.
them. Stocking in the stocking.
Um,
Oh, look at you go.
Stocking inception. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
and then let your kids run up and be like, hey, "There's mommy and daddy's talking," and then they start
Oh,
inevitably
yeah.
like, "What do you got?" And they're like, "Oh, they got the El du jour."
I did that last Christmas, I put something funny in there that was inappropriate for my daughter, and she did do exactly what you said. She ran around, I'll get your thing. I'm like, no. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
be
be careful
careful
with those those special gifts. But
Yeah, be careful
we
with
have
that.
so many new lines of lingerie this year, and when I come back in December, we'll really
And a
hit-
little something
hit
for
home.
everybody,
Yeah.
like pajamas, if that's what you're like. My wife got
yeah.
a really cute pair of pajamas from Fairvilla, all kinds of great stuff.
And then because I love you guys,
Hey,
I brought you some candy. I
All
got you some
right.
dog bones. I got the refillable eat a jar of D's.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't even. This is like almost 2 pounds.
2
of them.
pounds of D's.
Man.
There's a lot.
And I brought you 2
you.
jars. If
All
you
right.
want to,
4 pounds of D's.
You can either keep one, or you can maybe, for each, by
Wow.
yourself, or you can maybe give one away if
These
you
are
want to
all-
use it as a giveaway.
These
So
are a
there
little
you go.
more articulated than the last D's we had. The last D's we had did look
Yeah.
like dog bones. These have veins. These are awesome.
It is an aggressive amount or
Yeah.
quantity of D's.
I saw that they were available, and I'm like, I got to get
I
them.
appreciate
Yeah,
I
that.
have
Thank
to
you.
bring you guys a gift.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there you go.
great for any sort of gag gift or
Absolutely.
And they're also pretty tasty candies. We just eat them.
Well, and that's a good point because there might be some holiday parties coming up before I get back. Don't forget, we have a massive amount of really fun joke, funny types
don't
of
think
items you
about
can
that
take.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, to a party.
Here is a tip of the day for all our landscapers out there and the guys that ride in their boss's truck. So
This is a great idea.
Every single day, you buy one of these from Fairvilla, and then you just take a little handful every day to work with you. And then when you're riding in your boss's truck, you just sprinkle a couple Shawshank style
Yeah.
into that area where you put change, where you hold on to open and close the door,
Yep.
where usually change lands in or whatever. It's
A little
like
bit of soda in
Yep.
there.
it's
There
like
you
a
go.
little grip.
the top part of your straw.
Yeah. Just put a couple of those in there, or
Scatter them on the floorboard.
Yeah,
Nice.
just scatter them in there, or your boss's, office
Yeah.
or whatever. Just put a couple in there. He'll be fine. He'll find them for the rest of his life.
Slip
be like,
a
who's
cover,
putting?
yeah, just slip a cover under the papers that are on his desk. He'll find them.
Absolutely.
It's the long con.
Yeah.
And then he'll never know it's you, and he'll keep finding the candy D's everywhere. Great prank.
And you'll be a hero with everybody.
Because you tell all to everybody else, and then they laugh and laugh until the boss finds out it's you.
that's bad.
Yeah,
That is bad.
Well, he stops the truck and he makes everybody get out and into their pockets.
Empty your pocket. That's why you got to make sure you eat the last one.
Yeah. It's like drugs.
Yep.
When
There
get
you
pulled
go.
over.
It's just like drugs.
Deborah, thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Again,
Black Friday deals crazy. Fairvilla Megastore. Make sure you check it out. And if you have any questions, because we get people that'll email me and be like, "Hey, what was the?" Yeah, just you can email us. I'll answer whatever you need.
Absolutely.
Does the deal go on at all locations?
Yes, all locations and all these 20% off specials are online. Just not the 10% on the Black Friday stuff, but the 20% off. And also on Cyber Monday, we'll do free shipping on orders over $40.
Awesome.
That's great. Fairvilla.com for all of your needs. Deborah, it's always a pleasure seeing you.
So
Thank
good
you
to see
so
you.
much. We will take a break and be right back with more corporate time.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. Our very good friend Ennis is here.
So I'm guessing by the fact that EJ is here that no one sent emails saying you got any stories wrong last time.
Well,
is that correct?
there was one. And it
was
had
the Dune
It
thing.
was the Dune thing, and I'm gonna give you a pass on the Dune thing.
Because I brought it up.
Yeah, and I also don't think we can take anything away because Dune is so absolutely confusing
It's really complex.
that anyone is gonna get it. Unless you're really into it, like Juan is really into it. And I
Yeah.
read his entire post.
Juan
and it was
said I was okay.
Juan, that was a great post. By
It
the
was
way,
good.
if you're not a BDM, if you're not in a group, or we have tons of them, you can sign up tomandan.com, become a BDM, and join our massive community. He did a great job. Juan did of kind of explaining Dune. I read the whole thing, but I didn't think you weren't on the hook for that. At least that's my vote.
I wrote in the comments, too long, didn't read, to show everybody that I'm stupid and lazy.
I also
because I want to promote that.
I also
apparently.
like that he didn't do like TLDR. You
He wrote it out.
Too
Wrote it
long, didn't read.
Wow.
Did you even do
Yeah.
a meme of it?
Which is
or
almost like
GIF?
double middle fingers,
Yeah.
you know?
I always
Wow.
do the GIF with
It's like, I'm
Christopher
going to do
Walken.
what you're doing while I'm telling you I'm not doing it.
But I was like, what are you trying to tell everybody? Like, why did you feel it necessary to tell us that you're too lazy to read this, but also not too lazy to comment your troll
Your troll ways,
comment?
yeah. It's a troll thing to say.
It's like, I'm a troll. I'm the worst of everything. I'm lazy troll.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling people. Anyway, how you doing, EJ?
Good.
So I got to talk to you because I got a text from
Another one? You're going to give me a come
Yeah.
to Jesus again?
Now Samantha said she went over this on semantics.
Oh.
Which now I think she's trying to scoop my ideas because I was like, let's get EJ in here and make fun of him.
How is it scooping your idea?
And then Samantha's like, he did that already on my show.
Sunday, yeah.
And then it slapped my pee a little bit. I was like, all right, well, I guess we won't do it
It
then.
stunk a little bit, didn't
But
it?
then I waited a little
Yeah.
bit. And I'm like, too lazy, didn't read.
Yeah.
We're still going to
Didn't
do
even
it.
listen to
We
Samantha.
do that all the
know
time,
it.
though. I'll talk about something on my show, but you're like, no one listens to your show, so we do it on this show.
How dare you? I don't say it. That's what I think,
slaps
though.
my
Another
pee-pee.
slap.
But by
love
doing
slap
it
on
anyway,
slap
that's
violence.
what I'm saying.
I absolutely love Too Lazy Didn't Read. That should be our shirt. We should do that
Yeah.
because
Okay.
that is a thing, man. That's hilarious. I love that.
So, at the
I'm assuming the Ari Shafir story is what you're
Ari
telling.
Shafir's
Yeah.
show, they
Well,
said,
Samantha is instrumental for all of this because I don't go out a lot, so I don't think about people to invite. Pardon me. I just don't. It's not because I don't care about you or anybody. It's just I don't go out. But I was like, I have a table for this, this deal, this Ari Shafir show. I don't have anybody to go with. And Samantha was like, why don't you ask EJ? I go, that's perfect. Awesome. I go, great. I love hanging out with EJ. Thank you for,
Yeah, thank you for
reminding
thinking of
me.
Appreciate
Well,
that.
I saw in the
Yeah.
chat that you said that his show, This Is Not Happening, actually inspired you to do stand-up.
comedy,
So I
yeah.
was like, well, that should be the person you invite.
EJ told me that as we were driving over to the Improv. He told me that, he went into a deep dive, like a long story about, how Ari Shafir, one of the main comics, even before like your Bert and your Tom Segura's and these other people were kind of blowing up, that he had this should not be happening, and he had his podcast Skeptic Tank and all these different things that were, you enjoyed this stuff
Yeah.
and kind of inspired
It was
you
always
to
a storytelling show. This is not happening. So Tom Segura's on there, Joe Rogan's on there, Ali Sadiq.
Yeah.
All the guys you've had in here in this room have been on that show, and it was storytelling comedy.
Now, I will say that there is some excitement, and it's a very few things, at least in my life, that I feel VIP. And because I don't want to do anything, but when I'm at the Improv and we're seeing a comic and they request to see you after the show, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you feel like, like
a
I'm
big deal.
somebody.
Yeah.
I will
And
say,
it could be with a guy that we just interviewed, and I still feel like, ooh, he's famous. He wants to see me as a
Because
star.
it's the phrase of, Ari would like to speak with you.
Yeah,
And then
Exactly.
they
Yeah.
usher you into the green room.
Yeah.
Being requested is always
and
nice.
I also liked it because we were still sitting at our table, and then somebody from the Improv comes over. I don't believe it was Krista, but somebody came over, and there were super fans to our right that had on R.I.P. Kobe shirts. And they're being they're all in it. They're full Ari, and they lean over to us, and they're like, Ari would like for you to come back. Can you come back? And the guys are, and I'm just kind of
Yeah, like, who are you?
No big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal. No
It
big
is-
deal.
it's a-
Almost wore my overalls
Okay.
tonight.
It's a
Almost
small.
wore my overalls tonight.
It's a small thing that shouldn't be as special to
Yeah.
us. But when that happens, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
It is.
I do think I took
I'm
my
famous.
thumb and I flicked a pork rind because I got house-made pork. I flicked one in.
Were those any good?
They were very good. Yeah, I love a
The
pork
pretzel was
rind.
delicious.
I love a pork rind.
if you ever go to the Improv, get the pretzel. It's
So,
fantastic.
Now I'm I'm guessing Ari just wanted to see Daniel and Samantha from
Yeah,
the
probably,
show,
yeah.
and then but EJ.
Yeah, he wanted to thank us for actually coming out.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he said nobody ever comes to the show.
That was the first thing he
That
said.
is
Tom definitely didn't come. I know this.
I
Like,
wrote
the
that
market's
down.
Daniel told me that.
I wrote that
He's
down.
right.
It was the first thing he said. He's like, what do we have here? He's like, they say they're coming and they never do.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, make a note of that.
I mean, he told me. I'm like, you're right. Like, it does not going to change my behavior or anything.
I go.
Like when
I know.
I know you do, but when Linnell's leaving,
But I'm like a big stand-up comedy fan.
yeah. When Linnell's leaving, she's like, "You can come out and see me, baby." I'm like, "You know I will. I wouldn't miss it, and I'm
Straight
certainly
lies.
not a liar."
We went out and we saw when Dan Cummins comes, and we'll do that, and that's about it.
Well, I think you're contractually obligated to do that one.
Yeah. So
I saw Joe Coy. I saw him, but he didn't
10
invite
years
me.
ago, you saw
He didn't invite me backstage. I was mad about it, too. I
He's
was
with Chelsea
like, F
Handler
this
now,
guy.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's a new
so
Sporkin', yeah.
yeah.
So Samantha, Daniel, and EJ tags along.
Well, they asked if I could come along. And
I
they're like,
did.
Yes, they did. He did ask
The
if I could
first
come
thing
along.
I said, I go,
see,
"Hey."
that's where Daniel's nicer than I am. I would have been like, you guys were here with me and Samantha.
I go, EJ's
You're
here. And they
embarrassing.
know EJ. He's done the open mics there before.
Yeah.
He's like a local comedian. They know him.
They do
And
know
I
him.
go,
No way. I will bet $288 that if I showed anybody in the staff of the Improv EJ's picture
We should
with
do
a
this.
lineup of
Let's do
other
it. Let's do
bearded
it.
fatzos, they'll never be. I'll be like, which one's EJ?
let's do it. This would be fun because he's probably right.
Yeah, probably right. Yeah, this will take me down a peg
Krista
for
did.
sure.
Krista knew who you were.
Yeah.
You next to Carl Tully or Jake and 5 random dudes from CBE group. No way she picks EJ out of the group. Anyway,
So I ask her because I am nice. I go, "Hey, I'm here with EJ. He could come back, right?" She's like, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal." So so we all go back and we're talking. I'll kind of let Sam take it from here because you saw more than. Well, no, you and I were talking to Krista.
Yes, that's exactly what was
So
happening.
we didn't get to see the full
Interaction.
debacle,
Yeah.
the full problem
Yeah.
so
that we had. Plus, I thought, EJ, when I did say that, I mean, he'd given me no reason through the beginning of the night that there was going to be any awkward. There was nothing awkward. We got there on time,
Yeah.
respectful. There was no problem. Sat there nicely. I treated him to dinner, some snack snacks.
EJ though
and
is naturally awkward. Like
maybe I don't
almost
see it. Maybe
to
I don't see it.
on the spectrum awkward.
Well,
where
we'll
it's
get
like,
to that.
It mirrors like, why are you saying this?
Well,
Quit counting the toothpicks.
Time out.
well,
Quit
I've
counting
warned
everything in the
Samantha
room.
about this. I've told her a story that I'm not allowed to meet famous people because I do make an ass of myself
To be
every
fair,
single time.
I didn't invite you back there
Exactly.
to talk to.
So it's kind of Daniel
You
too.
can blame it on me.
It's on both. So
Now, now I will. I
you
will-
should have said, Daniel, you should not let EJ
We
go
can't
over
let
there.
this happen.
So,
He's
yeah, what
going
are
to
you
embarrass
doing?
himself.
before we go into what happened.
I think I would have I think I would have said
No,
nah.
he could come. He'd fine.
Yeah, I think
right?
that's
You
what
would have done that, and then it would still would have been worse,
probably
in my
worse.
opinion. Yeah.
so. Before we go on to what happened,
Okay.
I do want to say this to
It's
you,
just weird, dude.
and to all the awkward people out there that have no social cues or whatever. They're on the spectrum. My buddy's like this, where he just says weird. I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like, that's insulting.
And I really care about
Why?
that guy. I love that guy, but he has said some things
Yeah.
to me that
oh,
I'm
he's
like,
on the spectrum.
I'm like, "Youch!"
He can't help himself.
And it's the type of feeling you don't get mad instantly. You're just kind of like,
It kind of just shocks you.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like getting it's like
Yeah.
it's like a
It's-
verbal hand slap across the face. You're like, what do you do? Ow!
it's Dwight
Ow!
Schrute. You're shooting it.
That's probably the most accurate.
My buddy the
Yeah.
wizard,
Yeah.
he walked into like a friend's grandparents' house, like they invited us to their house or whatever. Like we and all his friends. First thing he did, walk in, dead silent, knocked on the door, like or the side of the pillar. He's like, "Who built this?" He's like, "That's a weird thing for you to say."
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah,
Welcome
like,
to my home.
your first
Hi there.
comment is knocking on a wood pillar, and then you scream out, "Who built this?" It's like, that's a weird. Why would you say it? It's
No one has ever said that.
It's not insulting. But it's not. It's an awkward thing to just, and then they have to scramble and be like, "Oh, I don't know." They start. There's like, who cares?
Normally they're just
you don't even care.
confused.
Yeah, you're not even interested in that. That's what makes it the weirdest. Anyway. My piece of advice to all these people, including my buddy the wizard, you, everybody, is just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just keep it to pleasantries. Hey, how you doing? Great show. And then nothing else.
It actually started off well. I think I started fine.
It did not start off well.
Because I did tell him, yo, your show, This Is Not Happening, is the reason why I want to do comedy.
Don't say any of it.
So then Sam says to Ari, oh, it's really cool that we're able to introduce you because Ari is your favorite comedian and inspired you to get into comedy.
Yeah.
In which you say what? You say
no. This is after that. Like she says that he's his favorite comedian or one of her favorite comedians, and I go, I like Tom Segura better.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you tell Ari Shaffir to his face that you? And this is what I saw because I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard him say, "Oh, I like Tom Segura better," and I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm like, what is happening right?
Okay.
And then when I
What
turn
made
around,
Because it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
hold on. When I
didn't
turn
say that.
around, and I'm going to use pretend this can. I'm holding an
You're
empty can.
chopping Ari.
Yeah. So he goes, Tom Segura is my favorite, and then he just turns to Ari, and this is when now I can see what's happening, and he just takes his oversized Miami championship
that's
ring.
what I'm
No,
saying
it's out of order.
And
It's
he-
out of order.
Well,
'Cause
whatever it was, you took the ring off and you held it out to Ari and you go, ring.
You guys were talking
like a effing weirdo. You're
You guys were talking to
ring. And I'm like,
Christina.
why is he doing this? Why is he doing this?
No, because I was wearing the Sean Taylor
Did you hear
jersey.
what Ari said?
and
Ari goes, what the hell is that?
No, I showed him the ring because of like I'm not just wearing this jersey because I'm a douchebag. I usually actually played with Sean Taylor,
But you
and this is
are
the
wearing
championship
it.
ring.
Yeah, but you were
and then he's like,
speed
"Let me
talking.
see that."
You were speed
so I handed
talking
it to him.
through
You
it.
guys missed that part that he asked to see the ring.
Why did you say ring like a dum-dum? Like you're...
No, he looked at it and then he saw, oh, there's a stone missing, and there's a whole story
what
about
happened
that.
with me is me and Dan were talking to Krista, and then out of my peripheral, I did not see the
Yeah.
exchange of the ring. All I saw was Ari holding DJ's ring, and now I'm trying to keep a straight face talking to Krista because I'm like, what the hell is happening over here?
Well, you
Why
could
does
hear
Ari
it,
have his
and you
ring?
could hear you speed talking, and every sentence was like you'd get to the end of it, but then you're already thinking about the next sentence, so you jump to that one. So you're not finishing anything you're saying, and Ari's completely
He's
confused.
being chill though. Ari's
is being
really
Yes,
chill.
he was really cool. I feel bad after because.
Why?
I wanted to make him like me. I'm like, hey, I used to play for Miami. I'm
He doesn't
cool.
like you.
Then
trying too
she
hard.
goes,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
he's my
trying too
favorite. I'm like, I like Tom Segura. I needed to knock him down a
made
peg
a
to make
joke.
him think I'm too
He made a
ingratiating
joke.
myself.
He started
with him.
talking
You'll
about
never
all these-
see him again.
He started talking about Shockey.
Seriously.
I will. You'll have
No,
him here.
you'll
He
Yeah.
started talking about Shockey and all these other players.
Yeah, I
and
was with
and-
Shockey,
and I
Portis,
said,
Ed
this guy
Reed.
does a sports segment on our podcast, the one you're on, and he goes, well, why didn't you get Shockey? You know, like, of course,
I
he's
like
asking
that.
Yeah.
everything that we already have
He
said.
must listen to the show.
Okay,
You
celebrity.
embarrassed me,
I'm sorry.
and I will never bring you back.
Okay.
You have
Here's-
one more.
no,
I have one more.
Well, we're
for
supposed
you.
to take mushrooms with Ari. I said my wife says I have to do it now.
Yeah, he's big on that.
Maybe I'll calm down and not do that.
He said he
anymore.
wants to come in a
Or
day
you'll
early.
freak out and you'll kill us all.
Come in because you're big enough. Ari says he wants to come in a day early, and we're
Yeah.
gonna get right.
Let me give a piece of advice to everybody. When
Never
you,
meet your heroes.
Yeah.
when you start telling the celebrity about your own life, they do not care.
No.
They do care less. They're being polite by just shaking their head and listening to you tell them a story about your life and your dreams. They do not care. First off, so don't tell them anything about your life. And if you're going to tell them anything, just compliment them because they're probably narcissists.
I also didn't think.
Yes.
That's
and
probably
that's
right.
That's what I
But that's
did.
what I
just
started
stick
with.
with that.
Yeah.
And then get the hell out of
And
there.
then get out.
Yeah,
That's what I
should've.
did.
You'll win. Samantha wins.
I was
she
like,
knows.
I'm not going to take up any more of your time. There's people waiting for you. Bye.
Yeah, she did
Out
say
of there.
that.
Yeah, Samantha did it perfect.
When you start A-burgering them with all
You
the
can't A-burger
details
them.
of your life,
Did
Yeah.
you just make that a slur, Annabelle?
Yeah, we did. We did. We're claiming that's ours now.
Oh,
We're
Okay.
taking that one.
I don't
And-
know if that's a good thing to be known for.
it just they're not interested, and they're never interested. So just don't do it.
Well, I'm
because
not
I
even
see it
interested.
happen.
I was, in fact, it would
They do it to me.
That whole thing would have been so much easier. It just would have been easier. Everything about the end of that night would have been so easy. Like even leaving, and then I didn't notice. And this is my bad. Doesn't have anything to do with Ari Shaffir, but I should have thought out who I'm walking around with. I'm walking
Yeah,
around with
I
a
thought-
giant.
Yeah.
I'm walking around with a giant, and then all the other comedians around there are just like, well, this is the funniest mismatch I've ever seen. So all they're doing
Yeah,
is
Ken Miller
following
and them
me.
were out there, yeah.
Ken Miller's just going in on me sideways about
Dan's
like,
getting roasted.
damn, look at how small you are. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh wow. Why are you with
And
this giant?
Jake Rika's out there.
Yeah.
He's just as big as I am. So
Yeah, Jake's. I love those guys. They're funny dudes.
Yeah.
I just felt I was like, why did did I come here with EJ? The ultimate mismatch.
Yeah,
But I'm
did one
glad
of
you
that.
had a good time.
It was
I'm glad
good.
you had a
Well,
good
the middle guy, the Steven, he had talked about a giant, so I was basically his
Simone?
giant for that.
Yeah, Steve Simone.
Steve Simone, that guy's man, he killed.
The Polk County guy. yeah.
Everybody on that captain was great. Steve
Yeah.
was great. Ari was great. It was one of the best. That was a good improv show,
Yeah.
man. Like top to bottom, that was awesome. It was well done.
So EJ,
sir.
before we start your bit,
Okay.
why do you say those things? Is it because
He says he always does, and his
I
wife.
kind of do.
where's the filter?
Well, no, you started
Well,
melting down in the car, and I
I
wasn't
did.
going to say
I
this
started
part.
to freak out because I've done this in the past.
and
I
I text
met
Tom
Muhammad
this.
Ali, and this is when
How about
he's
this?
shaky, and I shadowboxed with him at
Don't
Joe's
say
Crab
when
Shack
he's shaky.
You shadowbox with Muhammad Ali and Joe's Crab Shack.
in Miami.
But when he was like, when he was
really old.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I call jacking off, by the way. Shadowboxing with Muhammad Ali at Joe's Crab Shack last night.
That was the same night.
Too long didn't read it. You got to abbreviate that.
Yeah,
You got to
too
abbreviate
long.
that.
Um,
Oh
So,
my
but
gosh,
like
fantastic.
I've done this. Like the only celebrity I was talking to my wife yesterday about this and saying the only celebrities that I've been cool with were Alex Rodriguez and The Rock, and because they have affiliation with Miami.
You were
Everyone
telling-
else crazy. Like Jay-Z, I commented on his bodyguard too much.
Yeah, he was unloading in the car. Like he honestly.
When did you meet
the-
Jay-Z?
the-
Jay-Z was on the sideline for the Virginia Tech game in 2001, and he had the biggest bodyguard I've ever seen
No,
in my
your
life.
quote to me was, I can't talk right now, Jay-Z. You've got the biggest bodyguard I've ever seen. It was something like,
Your bodyguard's
Hey,
7'5",
I can't
500
talk to you.
pounds,
I
and he
can't talk
dwarfs
to you,
Brian
Jay-Z.
McKinney.
Jay-Z, I can't talk to you because I'm still over here admiring your big ass bodyguard. Holy moly!
I like it. You're in full pads helmet.
Yes.
Jay-Z's like, well, aren't you supposed to be doing something?
No.
I'm talking to you. They'll never call me. Don't worry.
Yeah.
did what happened? Okay.
Oh, it
when-
replayed in my head right before I put my head on the pillow. Every
okay,
night, it
but
like,
your wife? Did your wife?
oh, she's like, don't worry about it.
But she was going in on you in the
Oh,
car.
she's rough.
Because
Oh,
he-
she's like, what did you do?
Yeah,
'Cause
she already knew.
Like, I already played the phone call in my head when I told my wife about it. She's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. You got to
I got to
him
meet
at-
Ari Shaffir. What did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird to me that you do these things, and then it's like you can't help but do it. That's the oddest part. See, that's
Well,
what like
in the
this
car, he
is a
said, in the car, and tell me if this is right. In the car, he goes-
disease.
and because this was fresh, he goes, I think I did that because because I'm a comedian too. I wanted to knock him down a peg.
Yeah. I ingratiated myself too much with him, so I was like, okay, I got to knock him down one peg because he's like, okay, this is too nice.
I say I never do that math.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
What
that
What
doesn't.
did
That
you
never
do
works.
with Bruce Campbell? You did something.
Oh,
outrageous.
God.
yeah, Bruce Campbell.
I big D'd with the ring because he had a ring on that was smaller than mine. I'm like, let's check out my big ring. And I'm
This
like,
damn
oh,
ring.
God,
Why
what
would
am
you
I
do
doing?
that?
It's
It's a confidence thing, but at the same time, it's a not confidence thing.
What if you didn't have
It's
the
a
ring?
D-head move.
it's
It is a
they're not
D-head
some
move.
hot
You need
chick in a
that
bar.
ring.
You're throwing a neg out. They're,
Right.
they don't respond to that. They just
they
think you're an
do.
a-hole. No, they don't. They,
But I guarantee you, Ari will remember me.
They respond
Only 'cause
exactly
I'm a
like
dickhead.
all the like Daniel responds when every toothless redneck
Okay.
comes up to him and says, "Look how short you are." It doesn't ingratiate yourself
No.
to it. It doesn't
Yeah, but do you
endear.
remember everyone that says you've been standing in a
No,
hole?
I
It
don't-
doesn't
no,
like burn into your memory.
I don't remember them. In fact, Ari.
He hates it.
In fact, well,
See, I remember the people I hate, and the people I like, but the people in the middle I never remember.
So you want them to hate you?
Either that or at least I want to be remembered.
Good job. It's successful.
Oh, man.
You did
You
it.
did it.
Because that's what happens when you say insults to celebrities, thinking that, oh, this guy, he's treating me like one of the boys. That you just know you're saying polite things and get the hell away from him.
And it probably was just my dad's influence on me,
Yeah.
but like no matter what, in any scenario where I'm meeting somebody for the first time, there is a level of respect that stays there that I can.
Yeah, because you don't have a relationship with them yet.
No.
You can't be making jokes with them.
No,
like that.
I
I mean, you
get,
can,
I
but-
actually get real quiet, and sometimes people will be like, "Hey, you okay?" Like, especially in scenarios where I'm meeting somebody that like is important to me.
Yeah.
I'll get very reserved, and people will be like, "Well, that's not typical you. Normally, you're like bouncing off the walls."
When the last celebrity I met was Mark McGrath at the Hullabaloo event,
Yeah,
and
that
it brought
was
us
awesome.
up. And
I was nervous.
We took a picture with him. I was like, shook his hand. I'm like, hey, Mark, big fan. Took a picture.
He kept
and then
us.
couldn't leave fast enough to get the hell away because I didn't want to bother him. Like, and then he started talking to me and about the he's like, oh, you guys do a podcast with her? I'm literally backing up out of the exit. I'm like, hey, it's not good. Don't worry about it. You'll
That's
never.
accurate. That is 100% accurate.
Because I'm not going to bother him.
cares, yeah.
Because what does it matter? Like, he's not going to remember it. He's not going to all of a sudden start promoting it or listening to it. He's just being polite because he's a polite man.
There was a line too, and we were like, we saw the line.
I don't want anything from him. I don't want to. I don't want to hold him up. I don't want to bother him. He's got to do this all night. I'm doing the math of like, oh God, it's got a meet and greet.
And
with
that way,
10,000
me and
people.
Tom are exactly the same. I saw the other fans waiting to talk to Ari.
Yeah.
I knew he had to do a second show. I'm like, I'm not wasting any more of this guy's time.
Hey,
I didn't even get a picture. I just noticed that the next day. I'm like, I see Daniel's picture. Like, I didn't get a picture with him.
I just annoyed him all night with no evidence whatsoever.
No picture.
that I
Yeah,
ever
there's
met
no
him.
the
proof
guy
of
I
it.
made hate me.
Only this segment will be proof that I did something stupid.
Just don't say anything. Just go in there.
You're right.
Nothing.
You're absolutely
Don't
right.
even go. Don't even meet. He's like, oh, he wants to meet you. Like, no, thank you.
Thank
Now
you.
we have limited time. Do you want to just do nerd?
We got to do the one, the story.
Okay, yeah,
we got to
let's
do
just
Frank
go.
Gore for sure.
That's fine.
Skip the
Okay.
intro. Just we're going
Yeah,
to Jock.
skip the
Okay.
intro.
Yeah. Did you hear about Frank Gore is going to be boxing in December?
Tom's number one
Oh,
question.
man.
Yes.
You can already write it. Why?
Why?
You explain why. But my answer was very simple. My answer was because he can.
Well, he's been training for. I was reading. He's been training for the past 4 years, just doing boxing, and that's why he passed up. He did have offers to play in the NFL this year, but he's like, I want to train to do boxing. And
Frank Gore.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's only 5'9", and the guy he's fighting is 6'3".
That the reach
And
and
the
height,
reach is a huge advantage of the other guy.
It's a huge advantage. But if he
It's
can
only an
absorb
advantage
blows,
if you're good at technique. That's the thing. Like the reach advantage is someone if you're Lennox Lewis and you have been studying the beautiful game over like your entire life. Yes, you could jab someone and keep them away from you.
Yeah, the
but
sweet
if you're
sides.
an amateur boxer, the height difference doesn't make that much of a difference. You see what I'm saying? Like
Double Dag in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomDanLive. You can watch our show, our live stream every single day. Excellent question. Double Dag asked, why is boxing the go-to celebrity sport? And I think it's the go-to celebrity sport because you can control the variables.
Yeah.
and people want to watch it.
Well,
So-
it's easy. All you need is a ring, right, and a venue.
Yeah.
But I think you can control that. You know, there's a certain element of performance here. I'm not saying they're faking it. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you can pull punches. There's a reason that we have that as
Yeah.
a colloquial phrase. I'm just saying you can control the level of aggression with this. It's a lot more difficult plus it's one-on-one. You can't control a full football team. You're going to have a couple guys out there that are uncontrollable. You know?
Also, a type of thing where like maybe anybody could win. Like it doesn't matter. You don't know the individual skill. It's not like Frank Gore challenging someone to a reading contest.
I mean, the average guy.
I know the result of that one.
Well, the average person, unless you're into boxing, can't look at a person training for boxing. I mean, for the most part, and be like, oh, that guy's either amazing or he's not doing that right. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of
It's also
info there.
it's a weird choice for one of the longest running back careers in the NFL, where it's like you spent. I mean, how many years? 17 years. How many years were you in the league?
See, why are you asking this question? I don't know.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm not going to get it wrong, so you can.
Well, let's say you were.
has he officially
okay.
retired?
He
or-
entered
Yeah, I think he officially retired.
Because,
I think he put in the papers in.
Okay, because there's
He's
things.
37.
He was a freshman when I was a senior, so that would make him 3 years younger than me. So I'm going to be 41 in December. So let's say 37, 38, somewhere in that range.
So
16 seasons.
So he did
That's
16,
amazing.
and one of the hardest positions.
It's the most punishing position in
yeah,
football,
it's
for
brutal.
sure.
It's brutal.
Where
Yeah,
you're
you're getting hit almost every play,
Well,
whether
if you're not
either
blocking or
if it
running
pass
or-
protection
yeah.
blocking
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you're running the ball. Those are the two things you're doing.
So you're running into the gap while some linebacker that is similar size is running.
No, usually linebackers are bigger than running
yeah,
backs.
yeah, right. Yeah, bigger than you, running full steam helmet to helmet. You do that for 16 years, and you're like, you know what? I should take up boxing.
I haven't been getting enough head brutal.
You are giving double middle fingers to CTE at that point, right?
Yes.
You are trying to. You're like, F you, CTE. Come and get me.
That's all you got, football.
Yeah, I'll do boxing now. And if he gets through it, then I'm
what's
gonna be
after
like,
boxing?
it's all random. Then if Frank Gore does,
After boxing, he's like, somebody just chopped my head off. I need a
Crash test
Highlander.
dummy.
Give me a Highlander.
I'm gonna watch Frank Gore for the next 25 years, and if he can still like get out there and talk, I'm gonna be like, no helmets. Ridiculous. We've gone too far.
Let's use the exception as the rule. That's a good idea.
I'm just saying,
modern day
this guy's 16 years helmet to helmet boxing after, and then he's fine.
Oh my God! Breaking news. Now this counts
Is the
as
Spider-Man
this,
trailer
No,
in?
this counts as you getting something wrong. Unfortunately.
Oh, come on.
Pig tease Christine. Gore hasn't officially retired from the NFL, but if his boxing career doesn't go as planned, he may return for one final run with a team that would be a viable Super Bowl contender.
He says that,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah, no one's
that,
picking
no.
him up.
And like, say, I know San Francisco might pick him up just for like a one-day contract,
So they can retire.
and so they retire him as a San Francisco guy because he played most of his career
Yep.
for San Francisco. So, okay.
But then, that doesn't count.
Let's be realistic.
He's never
about it.
playing another
Pointing it out.
snap in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's too many other options.
Yeah, they'll hire Adrian Peterson before they will him again.
Yeah. Like he's just too old at this point. Although I've heard that he's gonna make the Hall of Fame because,
he's first ballot probably for sure with the stats.
which is it's kind of weird because you don't ever think of Frank Gore as being the superstar. Really,
Consistent.
the achievement is how long he did it,
The
right?
consistency, yeah.
And how good his genetics and his training regimen and stuff, and like he never got really injured for like he never.
He got injured in college, and I think that's what helped him out a lot. He messed up his knees in college,
He learned about
and I
it.
think it made him be more accurate about his injuries and taking care of them and being the training room and
article-
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but still, you get randomly hit, and like who know, you cut the wrong way, you blow your ACL, MCL, your career's done. Like hard to come back from that as a running
The
back,
article-
especially when you're 32.
I read something, and I think you and I have talked about this
Yeah.
before, where basically that injury that he had in college, without like knowing him or being able to interview him, they're like that is what kind of lit the fuse of paranoia to this guy's like he's
like,
crazy
I'm gonna
taking
take
care
care
of
of my
himself,
body, yeah.
right? So like this guy, you had that happen at a young, it's kind of like what I wish would take with my daughter. We try to teach him lessons, and then there's you want that one to stick, and then you're like, and I know the day, like it's like this guy in college got injured and then decided from there on out, I'm always going to take care of myself optimum, and he has.
And with amazing luck too, because
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of just like, you can take care of yourself all you want.
just a random cut and you're
Andrew
done.
luck.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Well, just the one hit, like someone falls in you, like you've been running, like that's you're constantly in a pile of dudes, like
Yep.
them trying to
Twist your body up.
hurt
I wonder
you.
what the odds. You love running odds on things. I wonder what the odds are to not get injured as a running back.
It's impossible.
a
There's no way.
statistical anomaly.
Yeah,
So the
there's no
guy
way,
is
yeah.
literally like
Yeah.
To have a-
the luckiest man
yeah.
in the world.
That
Like
makes
a
with
career-ending injury, because usually the running back, it's like the lowest amount of time in the NFL. It's like 1.5 years, and then average NFL contract is like 2.5 years is usually your length of time in the NFL.
What's the lineman's name from the Rams? They always point him out now because he's like 44 years old. And he's got a full gray
Oh,
beard
yeah.
and gray hair or something.
I don't know his name,
I think
yeah.
he's like 44 and he's a lineman, and you're like, oh my god,
He's the
How-
oldest non-kicker in the NFL right now,
Yeah,
I think.
And
Is he still good?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
they
Is
he a
don't
center?
just put him in for fun.
I think so.
and
Well,
this,
not
there's a lot of
totally
trust
sure.
and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, right?
so this dude is
We're
obviously
usually calling out the defenses.
he's kept his body up and his athleticism
Center
up,
is an
but-
interesting position.
But he also knows a lot, which helps you.
Yeah.
But it's still like for him not to accidentally have someone fall on his knee or like get rolled
Well,
up or whatever.
usually,
like,
because you're usually double teaming at center. You're always either working with either one of the guards. Usually,
Yeah.
you're hardly ever pulling, so it's not like you're going out for a long thing. So center's actually one of the spots that you could stay the safest. But the problem is you do get rolled up a lot in center. That's
Well,
the only difference.
It's always just someone accidentally falling on your legs
Yeah.
the wrong way, you
Yeah,
know,
just
because
turning
a
your legs
lot of
sideways.
people falling down around you
Yeah.
every single play, and it is statistically unlikely that you'd go this long without being a seasoned or a career-ending injury. It's pretty
Frank Gore
impressive.
still contends he's not retired. Chat room's not letting him off.
Oh,
they
God.
say 1. They say 1 minute gone
I
for the
think
bid
that's
next one. I'm just going on what they're saying.
No,
Okay,
no,
I will not be on next week if he comes out of retirement before the end of this year.
Okay.
I think that's a
But
fair
does it
trade.
count if he goes for that one day? So they
No,
decide,
that one day
okay,
doesn't
That
count because
doesn't
that's a.
Because
that's
I
a
We're
agree
talking
with
snap. We're talking a
He-
snap.
yeah, he'll never
Before
take
we
a
move
snap.
to nerd,
I'll bet.
how'd you
though.
do in your gambling this weekend? Because it was rough on everybody this weekend.
Well,
Well, that
actually,
Atlanta game was great, wasn't it?
Oh,
That was-
man.
I actually did
Chef's
pretty
kiss.
good.
Yeah, Atlanta's
one
Twitter
is,
was mad about the 28-3.
I don't know.
one
They
point.
should have been mad about how they were playing and not concerning themselves with stupid jokes.
Yeah.
How about you knock off the jokes, Atlanta, and start winning?
Yeah.
I won my Lions bet plus 8.5. I won my Washington football team bet.
Really?
Plus
You
10.5.
picked both of those teams?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay.
but the points.
Teasing them
with the
up,
points.
yeah,
I
stuff like-
didn't pick them to win outright. Obviously,
You were
the
taking the
Lions
points.
just tied,
Yeah.
but Washington won outright against Tampa.
I enjoyed that press
Which-
conference with Brady, all 57 seconds of it.
Oh, he was mad.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't seen him. I do like a good mad Brady, though. I like him mad.
Who do they play next week? Because I feel bad for them for sure. I think he's going to throw like 6 touchdowns
You think
next
go
week.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
gonna pop his Lego hair
Yeah,
off.
oh, God. He was so mad.
That's why
Yeah.
Giants.
you
They play the
are.
Giants. Oh, they're going to blow them out for sure.
He doesn't have a good poker face, right?
It's-
Like when he's
yeah,
mad,
no,
he's mad.
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you like?
it's
Would
not
you
as
like to
bad-
bet on a certain?
Oh. They're playing the Giants. What's the spread? Do you know, Samantha?
I don't know.
When you
I can
picked it?
look it
I'll
up.
guess
I
the
guess.
spread. I'm guessing Tampa. Is it at home? Is it Tampa at home or at the Giants? Even though home field advantage is worth
At
like
Tampa.
Doesn't mean
I don't even know what
at
that is
Tampa.
And it's
anymore.
Monday night.
it's Monday night at
Yeah.
Tampa. I'm going the Giants are an underdog by 10.5.
You think 10.5? I was thinking around that range.
Because Washington got to 10, but that was after their bye. So I'm going Tampa minus 10.5. I don't know what it is. I could look right now, actually. But anyway, that's the problem, though.
Yeah.
Revenge and things like that, I don't buy
I think
into.
they're going to fix a lot of things. They had problems this week. That's why.
And it seems to me too that I was talking to Daniel about this when it comes to gambling. Like there's a lot more complicated things that we don't
Wait a minute.
see.
You know another Dan?
It's Bucks minus 12.
All right.
Wow.
Whoa.
So you going to take the Giants?
I'll do if you take 14.
No. I'm going to go with Las Vegas, what they say.
Well, it'll get bet up to 14 probably. Just give me 14, I'll take it right now.
No.
Um,
I'm not dumb. I know that Vegas already has the algorithm set up for this.
no,
I
there's
do,
no
I
algorithm.
do like that you're not getting. I like the.
No, they just they put out a line and then they let the hive intelligence
Yeah.
of
Drive
the
it to
gambling
where it
community
goes.
drive it accurate.
Take it where it goes.
That's
but
what
you
they're
did
doing.
okay this week in gambling, though.
I
It
did-
sounds like you did pretty good,
I
even
did.
though all the mistakes that, like all the crazy stuff, like the Browns, they pulled off the air because they were getting beat so bad by the Patriots.
Yes, I did saw that. I saw, and the amount of love that people have now for the Patriots. I love betting against that stuff too. All the public hype and stuff like
Oh, yeah.
like you to be like, oh, Brady's gonna be mad. He's gonna kill the Giants. Like that just makes me want to take the Giants so bad because like it's like no, he is a robot and he's a football robot and he's gonna do whatever it takes just to win and get everybody out there healthy because that's what that's what it takes to win the Super Bowl. And that's the thing too with all these teams. Like you see them play, like all of a sudden some hot team that is like considered
Like the Rams this week.
insane
Yeah.
good. Like it's happened with Arizona, although they had a lot of injuries.
Well,
But
2 of their guys were
and
out.
then they lose to what's considered a stinky team, and
Mm-hmm.
then everybody's like, "What's happening?" I'm convinced that all these different game plans, like it makes sense to me that if you are a smart coach and you're a smart organization, you're like, I'm not going to do the same stuff. Like every
I'm not going to
game-
show my hand for the next game that's important.
And-
this one doesn't matter because I'm playing against the Browns or I'm playing against whoever.
And all your whole goal is to make the playoffs and maybe get home field advantage, but maybe you won't even try that hard for that because it doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah.
So like if you can,
Right.
but it's like doesn't make any sense to go undefeated or like
Yeah.
to win. Like
It's more important to have a healthy team that
Unnecessary,
consistent,
yeah.
that plays well together than
So-
winning out.
It's kind of like I wonder if there's value into looking at some of these undefeated teams early, like around this time of the season, and then just start betting heavily against all of them, knowing that eventually they're gonna like betting on the underdog
just
is
based
like
on
double.
resting players. players or not taking chances with certain things. Sure, that could pan out.
Not
for you.
showing plays that you're looking forward to
I could
using
see
against
that.
the good teams like the Rams or
Tampa was a 9.5 to 10-point favorite against Washington this week after their bye, and then they lose straight out, and everybody's like, "What's happening? Brady's finally showing his age." Like, I love that kind of thing. It's like, in 1 week's time, he all of a sudden changed totally.
2 weeks,
and
They
now
do
his
that every
knees
time.
went out.
Yeah, it's just talking
And then
points.
the next week he's amazing, and they're
Yeah.
like, he's amazing for his
Just-
age. It's like, well,
I don't know
why?
how they turned it around so quickly. Yeah.
Now we're gonna run out of time for
Sorry.
nerd if we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
jump
yeah,
in.
Yeah, because
So.
there's so much nerd stuff. Like,
Well, you have
'cause-
6 minutes.
Oh yeah, well, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer is supposed to get dropped today, but it hasn't dropped yet as of 1:30, 1:40. So
Now
but
that's Spider-Man with the new outfit.
they're supposed to have like
Why has he got
Andrew
gold?
Garfield. They're supposed to have Tobey Maguire.
Why has he got gold in on his outfit?
Oh, is that a new thing? Like gold
Because it's
Spider-Man?
like the Iron Spider is one of the outfits that because Iron Man was his.
Why can't we just get
mentor
Spider-Man the blue
in the
and the red
MCU.
with the thing? Why is it always got to be something crazy?
Is it special, or is it just gold leaf
Well,
on his
it's
Probably
it
got
was-
armor on it.
Yeah,
or
it was
some new
helped. It was
power.
designed by Iron Man to help out Spider-Man because he's his mentor.
Man, I'd be guarded with my secrets. You spider ass ain't getting none of my armor. You go flip
Well, he's
around
dead.
and
And spoiler alert: he's dead in the
Right,
MCU,
right.
supposedly. But who knows? Because it's comics.
But they're still
and
using
people come
all of
back
his
to life all
armor?
the time. Yeah, well, that's the new
and
show.
his
that's-
family. If that were Bob Marley's family or something, they'd be locking down that armor. They
Oh,
wouldn't be
yeah.
letting you just use it.
But the reason why is because like the new show that's going to come out, because that was one of the things they talked about on Disney Plus, is Armor Wars with Rhodey, which is the War Machine. So basically, his job is to find out who all these people are using Iron Man's technology and destroy it or take it back. That's the one of the series that came out on Disney Plus Day, which was last Friday. Which there's so many. Like I could go down the list. You got Marvel Zombies, Hawkeye, Ironheart, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Obi-Wan and Willow, Echo. Agatha Harkness.
Obi-Wan and Willow is not what you think. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan
and-
Kenobi and the Willow. Remember Willow with Warwick Davis, the little person?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
No, it's
She-Hulk.
Willow Smith.
When She-Hulk turns into She-Hulk,
Yes.
she has a tattered sports bra, right?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Also,
Okay.
when she gets her cycle.
No, is it green? Is it green?
No,
Oh,
no, it's not.
big.
It's a lot though.
Well, we learned from Ari
It's a
Shafir she has to be
lot.
away from 14 days.
Yeah, unclean.
So-
Does She-Hulk ever mate with
Yes.
He-Hulk?
Yes. That's the storyline.
That
Old
is?
Man
Yes,
Logan, yes.
when two Hulks come together,
Yeah.
and
So
they
you
make
become
a
one.
big colic baby. Just like yelling, that baby's so loud.
Yeah, they became
and-
like a whole gangster family that was like out in the western United States when all the supervillains took over the world in Old Man Logan.
yeah. Remember that?
It was a
Remember
good
that?
story. If you haven't read it, it's
You don't remember all the
fantastic.
Hulk babies that lived in? Remember in Logan, all the Hulk babies, and
I
they're
don't-
all a little.
I don't know.
You know, they're
Not
all
the movie, but the actual comic book.
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
all a little off.
And there's
if
like
you
a
know what I mean?
Tyrannosaurus Rex that has the Venom symbiote over it.
So these are all new shows.
Yeah, and I'm not even done. Agatha House of Harkness, Secret Invasion, which they showed.
Is this too much Marvel?
No, for me, no.
Are these
Because
movies?
it's gonna
or-
no. Some of them are getting limited series. Some of, like they're bringing out X-Men '97, so it's gonna be a continuation of the X-Men series from the '90s. Did you ever watch that? I used to love coming home from baseball.
X-Men 97. We say the F word for gays. That's weird. So don't say that, Cyclops.
Well, that's the problem. X-Men was always an allegory for racism.
You can't say that anymore.
X-Men '97.
Hey, Professor X. You can't say that. All right.
They also got
Professor X, why are you locking your office door? Oh wow!
they got
That's a
Guardians of the
plan.
Galaxy holiday special. They have I Am Groot, which is gonna be an animated show about Groot.
It's just
Spider-Man,
too
Freshman.
much.
Yeah, and then this is the one I think you guys would
It's too
watch.
much Marvel.
Do you guys watch the Predator movies with Bill Duke and all them?
Oh yeah.
They're gonna do one that's 300 years in the past, and the Predator is tracking someone from the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. So it's like no guns, but just crossbow, like bow and arrow and stuff like that.
So they're saying
it's called Prey.
The
is the
Predator,
difference.
like, is an alien, obviously. He came
Yeah.
to Earth, like, all these
They're
different
always
time
looking for a
periods,
good
They're
right?
always
fight,
hunting,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and
a challenge.
They're warriors.
Yeah.
And so they came to Earth at a time where there's Native Americans, and
Yeah.
then they're doing that way. All right.
In the Comanche Nation is what was said in the little
Is it going to be? I hope it's I hope the Native American that was in the first Predator that cut his chest across.
Yes, bring that guy back.
He's an old man now,
Yeah,
right?
that's all right. Put him into like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Make him one of the chief elders or something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic.
Make a cameo, right?
Yeah.
And then he's yelling about those kids. He's like, "You get out of the goddamn gang! I'll give you this muscle car I got. You can drive me around in it. I almost called you the wet word, but I'm not."
Have an El Camino instead of Gran Torino.
Yeah, we could. It's not. I don't know, man. There isn't anything that you said that I'm like, gotta see it. But then again, I'm not a comic book TV guy.
The Predator, was that number 3 where they went to the city? It was Predator in the
No,
city.
that was Predator 2 with Donald.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover, yeah, that was part 2.
I remember watching that on
That was
a
stupid.
soccer trip. I was with we were in Tallahassee for a soccer.
They let you watch it with the nudity at the very
There's
beginning.
nudity in the very beginning.
I was watching it
and
with my son, and I forgot about that scene. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh!"
I watched
I'm
it
gonna
on
get
a
over
soccer trip, and I had to hide my boner. That's a true story.
Yeah, because the girl's on top of a guy, and she's just riding it hard.
Stop. Whoa! What are you titillating here? Come on, man.
Is that tiddling? Oh, okay, sorry.
Don't say that either. Last story.
Well, which one do you want to know more about? Because there's tons of Willow. They did.
I just told you I don't care
No,
what I think they're all stupid.
None of them.
Okay,
Yeah,
Moon Knight has.
I hate that I disagree with Juan so much today, but Juan's like, they've been writing. Marvel's been writing for 60 years. It's a treasure trove of great ideas for a conglomerate.
Thank you.
And he's right. I'm just saying that there's not one thing that you read there that I'm like, oh, I think that's going to be
Okay,
good.
here's a question: is Oscar Isaac in too much stuff like Chris Pratt? Because he's going to be Moon Knight. Because think about it, he's been on Dune lately.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been in so much stuff lately. He's been Apocalypse.
The
He's,
skinny emo kid.
Yeah.
I thought he was one of your Miami friends. Didn't Oscar Isaac live down in Miami? He was part of your crew or something like that?
What?
I remember hearing a story that you were friends with, like your friends knew him.
What? Oh, was he in the Star Wars?
Yes.
Yes.
He's Poe Dameron in Star Wars.
Oh,
Poe Dameron?
Poe Dameron, yeah.
Long story. There was a friend that he was hooking up with some other girl, and my friends drove to the house, and then started going number 1 in his gas tank and scratched his car all over. They were destroying his car.
Oh,
and then
my
he sued,
God.
He sued someone and got a restraining order or something.
That's the guy from Dune?
The guy from Dune.
my God.
Is it him? Is that the
The
same
House
guy?
Atreus leader.
Is it the guy from Dune?
Yes. Hey, dude, I peed in your car.
Fernando,
You don't got enough
dude.
spice to
Winston's
take care of
gas
this.
tank, and they bent. And then my one
Hey,
buddy
dude,
got
I
a
deuced
restraining
in your
order
Datsun.
against him that he was mad because he had nothing to do with it. He wasn't even there. And then nobody wanted to tell him. And then some camping trip, they started fighting. Fernando started fighting my other friend.
He was raised in Miami.
They got her. They went in his gas tank. It was
Moon
the
Knight's
dude.
coming for your
They went in
friend.
Dune's gas tank. I gotta tell my friends. I bet they don't even know him. I bet they didn't even know that. One of them does. He's still mad about it.
Hey, man, are you the man that peed in Dune's gas tank? Yeah.
It was bad. There's no reason for it. It was the dumb retaliation of teens.
You know what? That makes me
Because
laugh.
he didn't want to, he was just there hooking up with some girl. He didn't.
That makes me laugh because there is something oddly, and I can't put my finger on it, but there's something oddly elitist about Dune. It just, the look of it. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, it's really
He had a BMW.
aristocracy.
But when you
He
look
had a
at it, it's
BMW
like-
too at the
Yeah,
time. Like he
and
grew up
I
rich.
And I like the idea of saying, hey, go pee on that dude. I just think that's funny. I don't know why.
Well, back then it was just like he's hooking up. It wasn't even the girl who's hooking up with. It was ex-boyfriends with someone who's not even there. So my friends,
you guys were
my Miami
proxy?
friends are so stupid. They're like, like we're gonna get him for you. He didn't even want it. Then. The boyfriend got in trouble because the girlfriend obviously thought it was the
Thought it was
boyfriend.
him, yeah.
And got a restraining order against him. That was a big legal problem he had to go through. He's like, "Why'd you do?" I remember telling him in a party in Gainesville one time, and he's like, "You," and then he almost fight Fernando. We had a grab for it because he was like,
You know who I am? I'm mother effing Dune.
"No, not the Dune guy. We never saw the Dune guy. It was
I
like
took down Dune.
it was my buddy that got the restraining order against him because of Dune." Which I admit, I was like, man, that's a D-head move for Mr. Dune. Didn't do nothing.
Man, you done duned up, brother.
He just fell into the trap of poor Miami idiots.
Oh, my God. That's,
That's
that's so
funny.
funny to me. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Anything to plug?
No.
You gonna do comedy out anywhere?
I'm gonna try to see if Ross will let me go do a S sandwich on Saturday.
Okay, cool.
'Cause I got the bug. I definitely want to tell more about the
Don't
stories
try
about.
to bribe him for a spot like
Yeah.
Big Tim did, and then bring it up on the
Yeah,
show.
don't do that.
No, I won't
Yeah,
do that.
don't
I'm
do
like,
that.
if he
Gets
wants to be
all
on there, if
awkward.
not, I don't care.
Now wait a minute. I didn't do it. Now wait a minute.
And I'm like, oh God, they're fighting.
Nah.
There's these white parking things they have in Miami. We used to call elephant turds. the
Oh, I
white
know what they are,
concrete
yeah.
triangles.
They're hard.
You put in the
I
front.
threw that through
It's
Dooley's window.
and it bounced off. And
Oh,
then
they
did? Yeah.
I was screwing around.
And then I remember we all laughed. We're like, "Wow, like windows are stronger than we thought."
You're a bad person.
Not me. I just laughed at it. And he's fine. He's
Yeah,
doomed.
look
He's
at that.
doomed. Look at him. He's doomed, and
He's
we're all
Moon Knight.
nothing.
We're all here laughing about the Dune story. He's there.
Yeah, he's doing it
Yeah,
up.
he's doing Dune 2, Dune 3,
Yeah,
all
this
the
guy's
Dunes.
rich beyond our wildest dreams.
Now, what if he invited you guys to a party?
Oh no,
Oh.
they'd be
Is
a trap.
Sam, do you think there's any way
Throw
we
an elephant turd through my
is there any way we can try to reach out? He's
No,
too big of
I'm
a star
embarrassed,
now, right?
Oh,
He'll
please,
remember- he'll
please
remember,
interview
too.
him.
There's no way you
please
can forget.
interview him.
It was his
Sam,
BMW
please
in
hook
high
that
school.
up.
I mean, I could try.
Like,
but
he was
I
on
have a
high school all the
feeling
time.
he's a little above our.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, one
He's
of the
not gonna
guys
be
with
at
the
improv.
elephant turd.
Hey, dude. Yeah, you. That's what we call you. We threw an elephant turd through your BMW. You remember that? Still stings, doesn't it, dude? Still stings. All right, we got.
All right, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do. You want to do some emails?
Yes.
Emails and voicemails. Sam, what do we have in the old mail sack?
All right.
We don't have an official name for our mail. Like traditionally on a radio show, whoever
Sam's
reads
mailbags.
Well, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, mail. Oh, yeah,
you lean
yeah.
You lean in, and that's why you're a pro, and
Yeah.
that's a presto trip.
Yeah.
She offered up her bags without even me having to make
yeah.
a bag mention.
Yeah. Let's
That's
see what's
when
in
you know.
Sam's bags. And then we're like,
Bags.
So this is about the tens unit that we did last week.
Oh, yeah.
that,
yeah.
Butler brought in. He says, I'm familiar with them. My wife has one. Tom is better than John Cena doing all the Make-A-Wish because I've never heard Samantha have that much joy.
Yeah.
It's true. It was
She
my
was
wish.
happy.
It was my
Too
Christmas
happy.
Oh,
wish.
she was
see
very
me.
happy.
That thing hurt. I thought it was going to be way less aggressive than it was, you know?
I had a little spot over here where maybe we got a little too high on my potato fat, and it crisped up my potato a little bit.
Yeah.
like it does. I could see where if you took that thing to 10.
Oof.
You know, it'd be fun though. I was thinking about it would be fun to put that on like a rat, and just crank it to 10 and let him roll, just to see how would he keep
Animal abuse.
Would he? Yeah,
It,
with just a rat,
to electrocute animals.
just a rat, just a rat,
yeah,
not a
yeah.
dog, not one of the ones we like. The rat.
Yeah. No,
That's not
right.
allowed though. You know?
Could you do it to a jellyfish? I feel like people don't care about
No, they do.
jellyfish.
People do. Jellyfish,
All
no brain,
animals
right?
now,
Jellyfish, no brain.
no brain.
What about a fish?
No, they care about fish. My wife gets very upset.
What is her ranking?
It was like an
'Cause that'll help
atrocity.
me understand more.
I'll give you the whole ranking.
Yeah, give
You
me
know
her
that-
ranking.
It's the billboard you see. Well, first
Where
the
the line
billboard
is.
there where the line is. So that is actually her ranking of animals all the way down. And then under that, fish before jellyfish. Like
Fish before jellyfish, bitch.
all like
Bros
aquatic
before hoes.
animals, your seahorses and stuff, and then it goes jellyfish, then coral after that.
you know,
What about
Co-
scorpions or like praying mantis?
Coral is,
insects, that's a whole different category.
Yeah.
Coral is forgotten. You know what? Shout out to Coral.
All basic insects she doesn't want to kill, except she does.
The ants. Yeah.
Fire
No,
What about
roaches?
No,
roaches.
fire ant could take her boy.
Yeah.
Fire ants too, yes. The fire ants she will kill. Roaches, fire ants, wasps, anything that can harm the boys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
She
She would annihilate them if
She
she
would
had
like
a
to
chance.
kill them herself, but she'll turn a blind eye while I kill them and spray them.
Okay.
And then even to you get to trees, which is the most insane one. There's an affinity for trees, in which I'll tell you a story where I was hanging Halloween decorations, and I was on a ladder, and then I was driving a nail into our oak trees in front of our house. When she said, "Do you have to use a nail?" And then I'm like, I should never tell anybody this story because people are going to think you're insane.
She didn't say zip ties, like you couldn't zip tie it to the tree?
Yeah, you could use...
I could have done anything.
You know,
I'm nailing it. Who cares?
3M
It doesn't
makes-
have feelings.
3M makes a lot of products that wouldn't damage your trees.
Yeah.
That's true.
Double-sided tape.
You know, if they'll
We
make
didn't even
A nail
try.
doesn't
No, I'm
damage
just
it.
saying an ounce of prevention. You know, like using your noggin every once in a while isn't bad, Tom. You could have gone and gotten any of the hundreds of 3M products that doesn't even leave any residue on a dorm room door.
But nailing a nail into a tree doesn't do anything to it.
Well,
It
we
doesn't.
don't know that.
It's a permanent damage.
We
to the
don't know
tree.
that.
Speaking for the trio.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
That's victim
I
blaming you.
well, you can nail if you
They
do it.
like it. They like
You
it.
can do
Yeah.
anything you want to a tree.
This tree
Anything.
wanted to be nailed.
You can whip it every day. Axe it, whip it, rip its leaves off. I don't
Whoa.
care. No one cares.
We're
Rip
going to
all
start
leaves
the
off.
happening, man. The M.
Have
Night Shyamalan movie that was really bad.
force yourself onto the tree. You can rape a tree, and I don't care. You're fine. That's fine.
I do
No
not
one cares.
agree with that.
No one cares.
All right, let's go with a voicemail.
If you care, you're crazy. You're a crazy person.
There's this one.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam, and Dobson. BDM Easy here. I don't know if you remember, but my New Year's resolution was to leave you guys more voicemails. And now that it's halfway through November, I think it's time for number 2.
All right.
Anyway, you guys need to bring back Greenie and Mr. Snarts. That was one of the funniest bits I've ever heard. There's something about Tom and his inability to make believe, and even though that's what he does for a living and at home, it was hilarious. And Mr. Snarts seems like a sweet guy. Anyway,
He is.
I
He's a
was
good man.
on the roller coaster at SeaWorld the other day, and I was sitting in the back, and the operator is on the microphone doing that thing where, who's ready for the thrill of the manta or whatever. And then someone up front said something, and I couldn't hear him, but the operator goes, "Oh, we got a chirper." And then he launched the coaster.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was SeaWorld, San Diego, so chirpers are everywhere. Bye.
Shout out to SeaWorld San Diego.
But
Chirp status strong.
in the history of me being alive, I have never yelled in a crowd when the host or whoever's on the mic is like, "Who's ready for whatever?" Like,
Yeah.
ready to rock, ready for the party, ready,
You don't say
ready
a
for the
word.
show.
Quiet.
I don't believe you.
stand-
What about weed or beer?
No, he won't.
No. I just
No,
stand there
you just go
dead
quiet.
silent.
No,
I
he won't
just
say a word
no,
or anything. I've been when we were standing.
I hate doing it.
We were standing side stage watching the mood designers at our event with thousands of people dancing, and they're like, "Y'all ready to party?" And Tom's just stoically just
By the way,
staring out there.
but I will say it on stage, and I've said it a million
Yeah.
times.
yeah. You
Yeah.
just won't be a part of it
Because it's an
I get
easy
it.
thing to like.
You're not going to do the refrain, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not gonna be. And then
Okay.
I do look down on everybody who does scream. So, like, you take
Next
what I
Tom
said.
and Dan event, nobody
Nobody
was
answered.
fine.
They'll all
Tom's-
scream. They're
Yeah.
sheep. They're sheep. They'll do
Wow.
they'll
Wake
do
up,
it-
sheeple.
They'll do
Sheeple.
whatever I say on stage. I'm like, "You right? Who likes weed?" And they all scream. I'm like, I knew
you
they.
sheep.
I knew they'd scream. I'm just joking around. Whatever.
No, he's not.
Next email.
Well, that's the thing with this guy's like, I know Tom does his makes believe for a living. I'm telling you how I feel.
That's cool.
Everything I say is how I feel. But his mask says, look at him. Look at he's doing. He's making it up as he goes. No, that's how I feel. All right. Next thing.
Go back to the tree
You all
cover.
were talking about cheap travel and how it seems that people must be rich to travel a lot, and I can totally prove that wrong. I will be in Colorado next weekend for the
Hold on,
second
pause.
time. Yep.
Welcome to another episode of The Exception. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're always going to get the one guy that's like, I can do everything. I've been drinking my own urine on trips for years. Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Saving money.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not going to do it. He's like, I've slept in over 400 airports.
Like-
Not going to do that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, yes, you can travel for very inexpensive or for cheap, but it's bad.
Well, we'll let him continue.
It's also a
'cause
lot of work to
I'm sure
try
he's
and
got-
make
yeah.
fun
he's
of.
got some points.
He says, I'll be in Colorado next weekend for the second time this year, as well as Vegas in the Carolinas and multiple different trips to Disney and stays for far less than anyone expects. My Colorado trip for flights and stay is less than $300 for 4 days. I personally don't plan and just look for deals on short notice and won't go if there's not a deal. I only stay at Disney if I can get the employee rate from someone and won't pay more than $120 a night. It's very possible to travel cheap and stay at very nice places if you look really hard for the deal and network with anyone that will listen.
There you go.
Stay off social media finding those deals because that's where everyone looks. And if you find great things there, it's probably a scam. Well, yeah, it's who you know, of course, is going to help you. And yeah, but most people can't do like things on a
last
whim.
minute.
Right.
Yeah, you must be a single guy, or maybe your kids are grown. I mean, I can't do that. I can't look at Andrea and say, "Hey,
and your job."
I got 2 tickets." If I came to you, I mean, even though Tom would let me do, I mean, pretty much. I'm trying to answer this honestly. If I came to you and said, "Hey, I got 2 tickets on Friday to get out of here and to go to Atlanta, and Run the Jewels is playing there, and it's a little show.
Ooh.
It's going to be intimate, and you know I love those guys, and we're going to fly up there, and then I have to skip the show," and I think you'd be okay with it, but I would not be able to do that. I would not be able to do it. There's no way.
You know what sucks about being rich? That you can't get as much free stuff as I did before when I was poor.
People felt sorry for you before, but
yes!
now they just feel sorry about
well, I
how-
can't. Now I feel embarrassed to ask for it
Yeah.
because I know tons of people that have like free Disney tickets and all this free stuff. But now I'm too embarrassed to email them and be like, "Hey,
You
how
stopped
about those
asking
4?"
Craig. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you're just a cheapo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, well, you can afford it. Now they wouldn't say Craig would just give it to me, but I know he'd think that because that's what I would think. Be like, well, why are you? I know you can afford it. Why are you asking me? Pain in the ass to meet you in the front. I gotta get out of my office and walk to the front so I can let you and your family in. You can afford this. Why are you making me walk to the front? That's all I'm thinking. Then I'm like, oh God, I can't ask for it anymore.
I did think that. I had a friend that was like going to give me like I think Disney or Universal passes.
Yeah.
I'll throw out both because I don't remember which friend it is, but it wasn't my friend Summer. I know that because I wouldn't.
I used to do it to
her.
Summer too,
But I
all the
remember
time.
that. I remember
Not up until like not even that long ago, and then I was like, oh
See, I
God.
never like asking people for stuff ever.
I don't either, but I remember people would offer to give it to me. No, I have to speak my truth here. I have to.
Booger just flew.
Yes, it did.
Booger fly.
Well, he didn't meet.
Butler, we got a booger.
He didn't meet Ari. He's okay.
Butler, we
I
got a
did a
booger.
nose lap.
Where is it?
Booger
You did
fly.
a nose lap. What's a nose lap?
That's an old man thing.
Are you going to start blowing your nose incredibly loud and windy now?
Oh no.
Oh my God, you become your grandpa. Your eyebrows are so bushy
They're
right
bad.
now. I don't know where your face starts. You look like the Lorax.
All right, I deserve it.
Speak for the trees.
What was I saying?
Not tickets from Universal Orlando.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
summer.
yes. Here's where it is. When they have to walk you to the stanchion and scan their pass to let you go through, I don't like that. Send me the tickets in an envelope.
Yeah, we'll call
I
at
don't,
least.
I don't want to look at you while you're giving me something free. Because then at that point there's been an energy exchange where I almost feel like we're married or something. Like I should like give you a back rub or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that.
It is a weird thing.
Put them in an envelope and put them under my doormat or something. I don't want to see you the day I'm going to take advantage of your free tickets. I don't want to see you.
They hand you the tickets.
No, I don't want to see them.
And then you
Tell us, tell a
and
story.
then they
Thank
know
you.
they're like, you can afford this. And then they know you know.
You're only doing this because you're a cheap MF.
Yeah. Hey, you just want to take advantage of our friendship
Yeah.
and ask me for free stuff because you're.
You're doing this because of your gambling addiction or possibly your medical marijuana addiction.
No, just because you're cheap. That's the only reason. Like, if that was a reason, then it's like, oh, you gambled all your money away.
Yeah.
You're trying to impress your kids by giving them. Then that's understandable. It's like, oh, his addiction caused him to lose his money. But this is not it. It's just you're cheap. And you want something free. And it's cheesy.
It does. Now, on the flip side of that,
cheesy.
though, I have more fun going to theme parks when I'm not paying.
Yes.
For it.
Yes.
If somebody gives me a free ticket
Yeah.
to Disney and I didn't
Because you ride one ride, and you're like, let's get out of here.
Oh my God.
If I give free tickets and you do that, I will punch you.
I want to high five your
I
hand
hate
off.
people that
That's
do
so
that.
funny.
Look, it's hot. Let's get the hell out of here.
This place sucks.
Who cares? We didn't pay for tickets. Let's go to expensive ass lunch.
Let's go to California Pizza Kitchen, buy everything. I remember though I would go,
I
and this
hate
is when
people
I
that do
didn't
that.
have free when I wasn't paying for mine are gone now. I don't have passes anymore. because the pandemic, we tried it a little bit. I'm like, I can't do this. This is a giant waste of money.
Yeah.
So we got rid of our passes, and but I could tell I'm already excited to get tickets. I'm going to be like, woo, I got tickets. It almost like you're right. It's like when we do shows, when we overthink them, they're terrible. But if we do shows where we go in with the right mindset of, hey, what can we get in and do today? They're usually really good.
There is one at the House of Blues. I know someone that can get me the loge or whatever. And
Give me the loge.
No, I'm next in loge line.
I've never been to the loge.
We'll get you loge.
The new thing is I now pay for it, but the tickets aren't for sale for the general public usually. It's like you can buy them. And that's the
they're the one for cancer people.
So
you're taking it away from the cancer patient?
They're not going to see
so you're pretending to do the wheelchair thing?
They're not.
To go through the wheelchair exit?
Maybe Adele,
you're a bad person.
Yanni, Dave Cause.
They're going to play Amway.
Yeah, well, those guys, though, would be, but for, no effects, there's no, I don't think there's too many, sick people that want to see Rise Against.
You're saying this Sublime cover band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Bad
fine.
Fish.
Yeah, you're saying Bad Fish, Our Loge. But that's the thing. You pay for tickets that normal people can't pay for. That's the good hybrid. Where it's like you still have some skin in the game, but you're still getting the elite tickets because not the normal people can buy them.
One of my favorite things to do is to buy those tickets in loge. I believe I did it last time I did it was for Rob Thomas, my mom. Oh man, my wife loves the Rob Thomas, and that was a good one, wasn't it? It was so natural.
I wish we can go back and find all the times
that you called your wife your mom. Yes.
It's every day.
By the way, I know nobody else who does that.
I do it. I've done it.
God damn it! I don't want to be lumped into. I don't want to be lumped into your category.
Me neither.
How dare you?
Yeah, we had a long talk about you this morning.
Hold on, I have a theory. I feel like this only happens with men.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a woman say her dad instead of her husband?
Bikers.
Biker ladies.
They call them, but they call them their old man.
Yeah, old man, but that's,
My old man.
Yeah, but that's different.
My old man just went up to Wawa to get us some lotto tickets.
But women never say my dad referring to their husband. Yeah. Because I think it's, the sad part is
we need our ladies to take care of us. Yeah, like our moms.
It just happened that way, and I don't want.
It's easier that way. It's easier that way.
And we're lazy, and we just let it happen, and then now they're doing
too
so
long
much.
didn't read.
Too long didn't read.
I'm telling you, that's a shirt.
And now you're living with
Too
an old
lazy
lady,
didn't read.
and then you're like, oh, this old lady's just like my mom. And that's what happened. And then you can't figure out.
But the cool thing is that you're like, what if I told you that we all love our moms, but what if I told you you could get a mom that you could you know what I mean?
That's so much porn, right?
Look, we all love our moms, but what if I told you that you could get a mom just like the mom you always loved, but you could put your D in her mouth, you know? You can't say that is what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that is what you're doing. Although and then there has to be some sort of correlation with all the extra amount of pornography that's out there that has moms in, right? There's a weird amount of that too that happens in there, which
it's comforting.
I don't know, but it's disgusting.
It's like the Cracker Barrel of porn.
Yeah.
This is why you should watch Twitch, just to see Samantha.
Why does she have 5 gold stars and a brown apron?
Why is her hand stuck in the sink?
Again.
Why is she cleaning the washing machine?
She's not even
again?
trying
Let
to
me
get
get
out.
this straight, Mom. You got dressed for the Electric Daisy Carnival and then got your ring stuck in the garbage disposal? That's weird.
Yeah. And then the
I love
son,
you, Mom.
He's not even trying to help you.
I have to do that when I get home. I have to change my mom's garbage disposal.
Gross.
How'd you get your head stuck under the bed?
It's a glass coffee table.
Too old for a futon.
Just turn your head sideways. You can get out.
This coffee table only weighs, I think, maybe 7 pounds. And that's just the glass. The rest of it's aluminum.
You can easily just get up. You're a grown woman.
And you really shouldn't have your face in that novelty Spencer's Gifts white shiny glitter rug. You shouldn't have your face in that. You should never put your face in carpet. You shouldn't. I like carpet, but don't put your face in the carpet. That's where people's feet go, and you know where people's feet go.
All right. Next, what do we got here?
I can do a voicemail.
All right. Let's do that.
I'm like, you let me know.
We got to pivot. Here we go. Now this one hurt a little bit because this is almost like proof that we have really, really dumb listeners.
Okay.
Like
Well,
really dumb.
I didn't need proof.
You just
of
called
that.
him sheeple a little bit ago.
Do you remember who did we have on 2 Fridays ago?
It's like people that go on YouTube and prove the Earth is round to attack the flat Earthers. It's like
Well,
you're
Just-
playing
yeah.
into what they want.
okay.
Don't even do nothing.
2 Fridays ago, we had a very good friend of the show, Kostya Kimlat, on the program. We're talking about divining rods,
Oh,
dowsing
God.
rods. Here we go.
Why'd you bring it back up?
Listening to last Friday's corporate time, just catching up, and it's hard. It's hard to listen to. Goes to Kimlot is
Oh no.
a bunch of people talking about things they don't know about, and I use dowsing rods.
So he's basically saying in his opening
He hasn't
statement.
fixed the suspension.
Come on,
but
it's
he can figure out
embarrassing,
the
sir.
dowsing
It's
rods.
embarrassing.
This also, you know what? As soon as I hit play on this, when you guys weren't here, I was listening to this voicemail and I heard it. It was like watching someone defend themselves on murder. You know, like
OJ
I don't
put it
need a
on the
lawyer.
glove.
exactly.
You're like, look, my glove doesn't fit in my big arthritic hands.
All right, we'll continue.
To find main line pipes when it's covered up in the drywall and the meter's covered up. I find them every time. I don't have a set of my own. I use the flag poles. You need the little flag stakes that they mark sprinklers with. I have some of those. Rip the flag part off and put it on there.
No, wait for the
But
science.
he
The
needs
science is
flags on
coming.
And
Science is coming.
it's not looking for water.
No,
It's
no.
looking for the interruption in the magnetic field.
There you go. It's the interruption in the magnetic field. He goes on and on.
No, I want to hear
no,
the
no,
rest.
no.
I
All
want
right,
because
well,
I want him to
continue.
embarrass
It's
himself.
looking for when you dig up for a main line here in Colorado, it's 6. You gotta be deep, and you dig up that trench, and you lay that pipe, and you interrupt that magnetic field. You put that dirt back, and that's what you're looking for. It'll find it every time. I can even stomp. Every stomp you do is a foot, and once those dowse rods straighten back up, that's how deep it is. You count your steps, your stomps. My bad.
He added a layer to it where now he can walk the steps and stomp, and then when they line back up, he'll be like, "That's 7 feet deep. I know it sure is."
7
Essence.
stomps.
Yeah, that's 7. We got good 7 stomps right here.
Not because it's code to make sure it's 6 feet down.
No, it's
No,
because
it's because I stomped.
it's insane, dude. Like, do you know how many of these I have?
I know, but listen,
I would
know.
say probably 50.
I have more people that call. Well, you're not gonna. The guys that don't believe in it, you're not gonna call in, right? But if you use
Yeah.
this, and this is something that it's been comforting to you, you feel cheated, right? I'm sure there's if you're really all in on it and you're a good guy, you're probably like that would affect me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, what the hell?
Is it
You're
okay?
shattering my world.
Yeah, it's kind of screwed up.
Well, let me ask you this: like, he felt passionate enough to call us and leave us a message.
They love the stomps.
About
The chat
the-
room loves the stomps.
about the stomps and the flag. And this is a new one where he's now finding stuff in drywall, which I wasn't aware that they could find drywall now.
Yeah.
So
And he's a good guy. Thank you for calling. You're
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
listener.
So,
I'm just
it's fine.
funning, but
but it's fascinating to me that you're like, I'm gonna call these guys and set them straight. Like, Kosher doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And then
Guy's a magic fool.
So you hear this and you think that, right? And then you're like, I'm going to call them and tell them
Fix
about
it,
it.
yeah.
But before you call, I would assume, and this is Daniel tells me, like, you shouldn't assume any of this. Why does this drive you crazy? That you would just like, let me just verify on the internet
Do a
real
quick
quick.
Google
Just like,
research.
so like I could know about it. Like, oh, there's some evidence that dowsing rods
I'm with you.
do detect a magnetic field that makes no sense. So why would disturbance and digging
Or
make a
let me-
magnetic field?
Yeah, but you go
Let
on the
me
internet
give
and
him a
find it's like
footnote.
one.
I always think of this. Like when I'm arguing,
Stomp,
two
footnote.
wire.
well, when I'm arguing with my wife, like seriously, if I'm arguing with my wife and I'm coming to her with a point that I want to make, I try not to do that with just blindly just yelling what I think. I usually say, well, I found it here. Look at this. You know what I mean? Like, look at this.
There's some information that's backing
Yeah.
my beliefs.
Yeah, and that's what I think everybody should do. And then it's up to us, right? Me and her now, to her to go like either your source isn't reputable or hey, this was written by this is fake. You know, and
I
then
found this up on MIT's website.
but
I found
at the
this on
very
Harvard's
least,
website.
what Thomas say, at the very least, something.
It goes to the problem of everything, really, where it's like you believe something to be true based on your personal experience that I was about to say trumps everything else, but that beats everything else.
Yeah.
That is provided information online or whatever else, or like finding out from experts or whatever. Like this can easily be debunked. And has been multiple times by multiple different scientists or whatever. You could look up the
But
fact.
I can also find websites that tell
Say
me
it
the
works, yeah.
opposite, like qmagnets.com,
Wait.
which is telling me that
Don't start anything with Q.
That's the problem
I
too.
know
It's
that
like
is.
you don't know what to trust.
Right.
And
people don't know
You
which
also-
sources to
Pepperoni
trust.
pizza, cheese pizza.
You also trust what confirms your reality.
I'm starting to believe in that demon lady that Ari was
which-
talking about.
But you could easily, at least, even if you don't even search anything with dowsing rods, just search if pipes of any kind give off a magnetic field or disturbing the dirt or whatever to begin with. You can even detect.
Yeah. PVC doesn't
They
really
cannot.
have any metal. Yeah.
You want
Nothing gives off a magnetic field except for magnets. I'm sure some other electronics.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
a
So,
lot
like,
of stuff does, but it's just, yeah.
not that you can detect with
Mostly
two
it's metal,
wires
yeah.
holding in your hand.
Let's do another email.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
You're good.
I was listening to ACT earlier this week, and you guys talked about coaching progression. I'm sure there's more that went from high school to college to NFL coaching jobs. But Gus Malzahn, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I
the
think that's
UCF
right.
coach?
Yeah, Gus
He
Malzahn.
was one of those that started at high school, got a job at a small college, and relayed that job to assistant and coordinator positions at larger colleges. Eventually to offensive coordinator for Auburn and winning a national championship as the OC with Cam Newton. Then given a head coach job at a smaller college, Arkansas State, and then eventually becoming the Auburn head coach, and now at UCF. He won a national championship in college as an OC, coached in a BCS championship game as the head coach, and he will straight up tell you that he is a high school educator and coach at heart. I know there's a lot of
cool.
I know there's a lot of current NFL coaches that made their way up from college. I'm not sure of their history and backgrounds to know if they were high school coaches prior to that. Urban Meyer, I believe, coached high school before he started progressing up the coaching ladder.
Yeah, I want a career like Urban's where you're in your own bar and you're grabbing people's ass. His fingers are just wild. You have wild fingers that just go wherever you want them to.
Yeah. So what was this person's point? Is that
That a lot of them go from high school to
Yeah,
pro.
we were
they
saying
got-
Yeah.
we were asking about the progression of coaches.
Like how many
and-
of them start in like high school
A
coaching?
lot of them do. I know quite a few that did that.
And because it makes sense that you're working your way up through the amateur ranks, so
Yeah.
the less
Well-
to learn to get the reps of how game flows go, and although I would make the argument that if you just started as an intern in the NFL and was like an intern in the special teams coach or whatever, like the Sean McVay, really.
Yeah.
It's like he started basically, his whole family was, his grandfather was a coach, right? Or an owner or something like that. But his whole family was in the NFL or whatever. So he was able to get in there as a young kid, as a ball boy, and be around it. But that would give you the ultimate experience as an NFL coach, being only in the NFL, because I'd imagine like you have to run obviously there's differences in high school and colleges.
Yeah, the only one I know is Chuck Pagano because he was our special teams coach, but he was a high school coach first, and then he was our special teams. And he ran
Does
the
he do
scout team.
commercials now?
Yeah, he used to be the Colts head coach.
But like that's a name that's like, hey, it's me, Chuck Pagano. You're gonna love my pepperoni
I don't
pizzas.
think so. I don't think he
Find
does
them
that.
in your grocer's freezer.
He was. I think he ended his career as the Bears defensive coordinator.
The Ghost of Manu Bull reminded me of something I had to look it up real fast. He said his favorite coaching story is when George O'Leary lied on his resume to get the Notre Dame job, and I didn't know about that. I had to look it up. It says Notre Dame coach resigns after 5 days and a few lies. George O'Leary, a former coach of UCF. I guess he said O'Leary had resigned suddenly after admitting he falsified parts of his academic and athletic background. He falsely claimed that he earned a master's degree in education from New York University. Those misstatements followed him on, and then they go through the whole thing, and then they
he was a Notre Dame's coach for like 5 days, and then he got the UCF job.
It's weird that
I
you.
still think the fake high school Bishop Sycamore is
Yeah.
way better. That got on
Pretty
ESPN.
cool.
They
Yeah,
falsified an entire
That's
school.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I can understand if you are, some like manager at Walmart and you trying to get you want to be the head manager and you're like lying in your resume or something. You're just like, what's the chances of anybody looking at this up? But like, I feel like that college coaches are celebrities at one point. Like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
college
They're gonna
coach
check
is
it
a
out
celebrity.
eventually.
And
Dude, Epstein lied on his resume.
But
to get
again,
onto Wall Street.
not really a celebrity where other
you're
people.
But then he was dealing with a lot of celebrities' money.
Yeah.
Like
but they're not
big
going to look
money.
it
But
up
that's-
because it's
that-
already too far gone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
he's already
laziness.
too far along. Yeah.
People though, internet detectives and other like even especially you have rivals in going against that hate you, right? Like some people in other colleges hate
yeah.
everybody.
Another team's booster's definitely going to sleuth that out for sure.
And,
Yeah.
and then look it up, and then it's like, what? And then search easy internet search. Right now,
But
everything's
it's
so
like,
easy.
is he a good coach? Who cares?
Well,
right?
he forced to
Yeah,
resign.
but you lied. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like,
and you
why?
got caught. That's the worst part. If you
dumb.
didn't get caught, then
If
it's
you're
not a
good
big
at your
deal.
job, who cares if you
Well-
lied to get there?
Because it's weird. It shows a behavioral thing and not necessarily has anything to do with how good of a coach you are. It's like by you just doing this shows something about your character,
Yeah.
and then you're fired.
Yeah, they
Like,
got the honor code at most universities, and like if you cheat, you're gone. So if that,
Yeah.
you violate that, that's some of these coaches. They're
Half-
supposed to be
half
higher
the-
learning institutions.
Half the athletes are cheating
Oh,
to
for
be able
sure.
to play. So
yeah. Or they get classes that are garbage, like I think
yeah, like
sports management
nothing
101. Yeah.
I guess it's the point of like, how did you not know this wasn't going to be found out? The fact that you even thought this wasn't going to be found out is suspect and makes me think you don't know how to make decisions.
Or he had someone else write it for him, and he doesn't have control over the people that are under him,
Yeah,
which shows really bad too.
Just the fact that it happened is like, all right, get out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Well, Notre Dame's huge, especially because they're always on NBC. They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
America's college team, basically.
Let's try this one here.
Hey, Tom and Dan. Quick thought. Just heard one of the new Burn pest control ads, and not doubting Burn at all, because I'm sure they do a great job, but Tom totally threw Amazon under the bus in that ad. Good luck getting Bezos to sponsor the show now. Sheesh. And remember, when you're going to make homemade tampons, don't use bug-infested Amazon boxes. Use Best Buy boxes.
So are you saying it's a bad thing, or what was his point about it? Like,
I don't know.
Was he mad that I was insulting
I
Amazon?
think
Is
he's just
anybody
making a
mad?
joke.
I think he's just making a joke.
Oh yeah, because Amazon will never. What they will. No point.
I've started getting less boxes. Now I get more. I
Bags?
get more bags.
Yeah.
I get more like little
which is worse for the
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, I was
The
kinda-
bubble wrap bags.
Wait,
I reuse
But
them,
they
though.
were wasting a lot of cardboard
Yeah.
because you'd get like one little tiny thing and they'd put it in a giant
Huge
box. And you're
box,
like,
yeah.
what is this?
Is there any other? Okay, like like those kind of like the cheap bags that we give away at our events, those drawstring bags that are made out of like some sort of cloth that can only be described as like hospital gown
Yeah.
weaving. Like.
Yeah, but you don't want. I mean,
Could you use
boxes
something?
are better because they just disintegrate in the elements, right?
I mean, I guess I don't
You
know.
recycle them, so
Yeah, or either
Yeah.
recycle
But I
or
thought
they're
like that
not.
box
recycling-
out there, you recycle.
I thought recycling was a scam.
It is.
It is.
I didn't think that. I thought like less than 1% of all the stuff we recycle. That's why I don't like around here. I use every can as every can, even the can that Butler has for receipts. I put trash in. Any drawer we have, I put trash in. The toilet, I put trash in.
I had a small chirper moment at the
Let's
Publix.
Me, I was chirping.
No, me.
You were chirping.
I did a small chirp, and I realized that. But I was at Publix getting my stuff, and then the cashier asked paper or plastic, right? And both
You got big boobs.
the cashier and
I'm
the,
inappropriate chirper Tom.
the bag girl were obviously young, like in their 20s or early 20s, right?
Oh, no.
The
Something
bag
in
girl
your
may have been
flexing your biceps.
no the and
Show me your bags.
Have you heard of Samantha's mailbags?
And I said paper, please, because my wife, she wants me to only get paper because she gets mad if I get any plastic because obviously the plastic just ends up in a landfill.
Yeah. Yep. Or in a turtle's
So
mouth.
I say paper, and then the cashier said, "Oh, you must care about the environment." And then
we got an old man here.
here's where the chirper I should have just said,
Keep it moving. You should
yeah, I
have kept
should've
going.
been
Like
yes,
you
I
told
do.
me earlier.
No, you just say thank you very much. Environment, yeah.
Yes.
But instead, I was in a chirping mood apparently because I said,
Adderall kicked in.
I said, you know what's funny is that when I was your age,
Oh, I've never done that. I've never done that. You know what? I'm off the show. now.
He's gone full old man.
Well, he's way worse than I get. Look how ready he is.
I don't feel
I've
bad
never
about Ari
done that.
He
anymore.
booger laughed, and now he's telling young teens when he was their age. age.
Full girl, I forgot he
I was like, they used to, like, the public service announcement was, hey, use plastic. The paper's killing the trees.
Yeah, that's right.
No, save the trees.
Save the trees.
They would
use
always say, save the
plastic
trees.
bags.
Use plastic. They'll never get wrapped
can't
around a
believe
penguin's
you did
head.
this.
And then I'm like, back then it was like frowned upon to use paper because it was all about
We're
the trees.
killing the
And they're
trees.
like, oh, okay. Like, I can tell they're
Local
doing.
wildlife love plastic.
And I'm like, now. And then she's like, yeah. And then some people are using those, they take their
Canvas
bags
bags.
from
Oh
home.
my God, it's a tire.
And then I was like, nah, I don't do that anymore.
Can I tell you?
Huh?
Can I piggyback on the bring your own bags?
Yeah.
My anxiety is so bad that I don't like using other brands' bags in a store that's not that brand. So Andrea will load me up and I'll walk into Publix with 9 Trader Joe bags. And I'm like, no, you're doing
Oh,
this.
you're like
You're doing
brand
this
loyal.
to kill
Oh,
me.
man.
No, I'm not brand loyal. I just match the bags with the place so I don't have the
It's the
sweetie
OCD crazy.
or anybody
Okay.
telling me like, you
Yeah.
gotta, I'm like, I don't know.
I do look down. I'm like putting the stuff at the Trader Joe's bag, and I'm like, why don't you at Joe's?
Yeah, exactly. If you like them so much, you go get their goddamn product. You could F out of here. You wanted a pub sub. You like those pub subs.
Only the old lady chirpers will say that. The
wanna-
old teens don't give a damn
I
what you
don't
shop.
like it though, and I hate it. And Andrea's like, it doesn't matter. It's just a bag, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's just a bag. Just like in her face.
So then, I think we got
more to the
into.
story?
I was like,
We're
well,
just making Sam.
You got into.
Sam things are so crazy.
I did say nowadays I think they make the bags, the brown paper bags, like they use like recycled pulp and stuff. There's like a
You're
different
making
way.
that up.
Recycled
That's what
pulp.
Butler
I told you they're the same person.
Oh my God, you don't know that.
Yeah, I do. I bet they do. They don't.
Yeah,
they're
I
not
do.
Cutting
I
down the
bet
Am-
they do.
That's another shirt. Yeah, I do. I bet they do.
They're not cutting down the Amazon to make brown paper Publix bags. They're using some garbage wood that's recycled or some mashed up pulp or some new fancy
Some
way.
newfangled
They're using
mashed up
sawdust
pulp.
that's already been used.
Like I will say that if you use paper, you could use any amount of paper and no one looks down on you. Even like the super environmental friendly people, because they're like, that paper's used, like they recycle it or whatever.
I
Like,
love this assumption.
They're
What
not
about
killing
flyers that
They're
are
not
plain?
killing. It used to be in the '90s. Used to be like, you use too much paper, you're killing the Amazon. Like that was. I'm just saying they don't get it
Fern
from the
Gully.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I remember
They're
like
getting it from some garbage.
I remember
wood.
we would have to, even at Clear Channel when I was working there, we'd have to, like, they'd make you put your scrap paper back in the printer if you were printing
Oh,
things.
God,
But there's-
double-sided.
Yeah, you got to print on the other side of that. I put it all in there because I was a rule follower, remember? Until
Oh,
I
he's
met
saving all the scrap paper, nerd.
until I met this guy.
Oh,
Then when I
yeah.
met
Having a
this guy, I
tree
was
that
like,
does
this guy's cool. I'll follow him to hell.
They're just littering
I'm like,
everywhere.
like one squirt in the corner, ruin their drywall, just ruin everything here.
All right, you got another one, or are we out of here? Yeah, grab
I'm like,
one.
steal everything you
Oh, I
can.
got one. I got one.
Break the printer every day. 'Cause I hate this place.
Hey, what's up, TND? I was listening to your latest Friday Free show. You guys were hitting a little bit on the horse racing and sports book betting. But, Tom, I don't know if you were aware, Florida is now live.
Yeah, he goes on to say what you already know, but I
Oh,
figured
yeah, with
you'd,
the
I
Hard
figured
Rock
you
app
probably
and
want
stuff.
to. Did they update it? Is it still good? Should I put some money in there?
No, yeah, it seems to be working fine. And those of you who don't know, I guess Hard Rock Casino now has opened up their app. Like some, I think, they
got it.
passed the law, whatever.
Yeah, didn't they get enough petitions signed or whatever?
So, I mean, it's money and corruption involved for sure.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
like,
Yeah, I see the commercials like, don't sign the petitions for gambling. It's outside money
Now,
in the
is
state
this
of Florida.
is this?
which I don't-
But the tribes still control it, and I remember originally the problem, because I follow some of the gambling podcasts that talk about like the laws, and like because people are waiting for FanDuel and DraftKings to come into Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The problem being is there's older laws saying that all the tribes have control exclusively
Is it-
over all the casinos.
Is it not fascinating that our casinos are or casinos
I like that.
are controlled by like ancient people? Like seriously,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I think that's like fascinating that it's like explaining that to an alien. I'd be like, yeah, we have you have casinos, you gamble, yeah, we do, but they're only controlled by these people that came originally, and then our way to like pay them back is to give them a casino. I don't know.
Believe me, there's so much money. A lot of people are mad because they're like, oh God, it was kind of like oh, whatever they want, some reparations, give them gambling.
I know, it's weird.
It's like it was an insult. It was like give them gambling, give them the slot machines, and they could take that money. So weird. And then now, when it's so much more popular, it used to be way more of a faux pas and a taboo thing. And now that sports gambling, especially when it became federally legal, like there's gigantic money in it. Like the money is absurd, like insanely absurd. And like in Florida, there's a lot of money to be had. So of course, the problem being though, those old laws said you could only gamble on property. And that was the problem why they couldn't get those sportsbook apps, because they were all dying to get the apps, because then it enables everybody in Florida.
Then it's go time.
You don't have to go there.
Yeah, you're just, then driving to the, my aunt does, the Hard Rock, and then sit at the slots or whatever.
Or get on one of the boats and have to go out for 2 hours.
Yeah, which is stupid.
It's just stupid.
We
it's
make
just
you
a
drive.
technicality. It's a floating technicality.
It stinks in here.
You're 3 miles out?
And I gotta go 3 miles. And then like in New Orleans and stuff, they're like, you can have casinos, but they got to be floating. So they build these huge structures
in Iowa
on some old, like a huge floating platform you put a crane on or whatever.
Dumb.
And then it's like, all right, you got around the law, but this is stupid. Why are we even doing this?
Change the law.
Yeah. And so they did in Florida, and now they can have app. They're trying to repeal it and stuff. And I heard like in my gambling page, they're like, enjoy it while it lasts. They're trying to repeal it. I don't think it goes back. Like they open the floodgates.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Money go to the politicians. We know it.
And I think all the casinos, or at least the tribes, like agreed to pay some sort of tax. I think that's why the politicians signed it off so fast. Because they couldn't be taken 100%. Do they have to pay taxes?
I didn't read the full article.
I thought there was like sovereign nations by themselves with the tribes and the reservations.
It makes
You better
sense.
be careful what you say.
I know, I'm saying everything
wrong. If you get things wrong, people are going to come for your head.
I think that. I'm not totally sure about
Well, the whole
that.
thing was to benefit these tribes for
It was reparations kind of.
like, hey, we stole everything.
I just think it's weird because
gambling.
reparations is like, here's a look, it's a casino. I just think that's weird.
Yeah, but there's, I think with the apps, there's probably some sort of like, hey, you got to pay a percentage back to the state we'll let you do it, because they're probably like, yeah, we'll do anything because it's a free money if you.
Well, usually apps it has to do with like federal because it's crossing state lines is usually the case.
I believe that you have to fill out a thing that you live in Florida and you have to enable your app location.
Okay.
So that's how they get around it. So as long as you're if you go out of Florida, it will not work anymore.
Okay.
I think that's how a lot of the DraftKings and FanDuel stuff works. Is like you have to enable your location services.
Let's do one more email. If you got a quick one, we'll
All right.
finish
This
up.
says Dan might be an energy vampire. Hey guys, not sure if any of you watch What We Do in the Shadows, but there's a character named Colin Robinson that is an energy vampire and doesn't drink blood, but feeds off people's energy by using small talk to bore them and trolling people on the internet. If you don't watch it, then you should definitely check it out.
Good.
All right, you
He
guys.
is my favorite character in the show.
All right, I'm gonna
Daniel
watch
is
it.
an energy vampire. It's true, because I'm so tired of
What's funny is I do
and I'm like, I have to say it. I'm like, oh God.
But the more I chirp, you know what? There might be something to that, because when I do chirp, like I'll chirp
You
him.
feel better?
I'll walk out, I'll chirp him, and I'll be like, "Hey, buddy, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later. I'm going to ride the Peloton." And I'll chirp out, and I'm feeling great. It's almost like I'm stealing people's energy.
You sucked my energy out. And then when you left, I was like, oh God, I'm gonna kill myself. I feel like I want to kill myself every time you talk to me. It's true. All right. Bye-bye.